You want a war? You're going to get one.
What was that? He had no time for one more play.
He had an opportunity to win that game at the end.
But the referee screwed us. The brother screwed us.
I'm upset, but
the brother screwed us.
At least they fought back and tried.
Only Cowboys game.
You literally.
The brother screwed us. The brother screwed us. We had one man opportunity for one more play.
Dallas still stinks. Yo, my do-wag, Think back here and welcome to day 2 of Free Agent Frenzy. Eagles, baby, we doing it right. That's right. I'm the one, maybe one of the only guys excited about what the hell we're doing because it's smart. But I'll open it up and say, what is going on, everybody? It's going to be a banger of a show today. Let's go. Chris North, what's up? Dev, what's happening? A Warrior Rage. Cycle, CZ, Stinky Fish. Good to see you, Stinky Fish. Chad, what's up? Sean, Dahani Johnson. Was it DH Johnson? I messed up that name. I'm sorry. Cycle Crabtree. I like that. What's going on, everybody? Daz is here. Ghostface Digital. Michelle. Oh, I'm sorry, Michelle. Michael, I need glasses. Philly Tide, K-Guns. Anybody I missed, I apologize. What is happening, baby? What's going on? Are you ready for some moves today? I say we could use whatever we need. I actually think that the Eagles have done the right thing so far. I said this yesterday. I'm going to say it again. And I think, depending upon what they do, we'll see if that continues. But so far, I think so good. Kyle, we'll see Philly go. Eagles, baby. Eagles, hell yeah. Antonio, what's going on? Low Eagles. Regis, let's go. I'm a little bit excited about what's going on. Mark Holmes is doing videos. Well, the Cowboys have gained on the Eagles. They've gained on the Eagles. Yeah, it's March 10th. They caught us a little bit on March 10th. But let's see. We'll see what happened. You see how he's trying to get Patrick Queen. Makes 0 sense. I just heard a mention of that. I was driving home, and I had Joey on, and I heard him talk about it. I don't know the details of it. I haven't had a chance to sit down and look. It would make 0 sense, and I almost don't believe it. What would be the point? You should have just kept Nakobe. I'd rather have Nakobe Dean. You know? Sean says, I agree with you about the Eagles so far. You don't overpay for mid-range players. It's true. It's true. If I like this bullshit, bro, I was waiting before the show started, and it didn't bring me in the stream started. Really? Yeah, it's all weird, man. It's just weird, YouTube. I always get, especially lately, like the last month has been like a lot of weird stuff. K-Gun says, Philly 500, I'm excited too, man. Look at the cap we aren't losing for these guys. The comp picks we are getting and Phillips we knew was a rental. Dean was injury probe and Blankenship was okay at best. Here's my thing. People ask me, they said, are you going to put out, you haven't been talking about the free agents, and this is the build up to free agency. Like, you haven't been talking about, your targets, because usually in February, before free agency starts, I start putting out the guys I think the Eagles should pursue. That wasn't done on purpose because I don't think that this is a great free agency class. And I'll go a step further. I don't think this is a great draft, especially in terms of top-end talent. So I think the Eagles are actually... they're playing it right. Now, there's a couple things. I would have liked to see Jaelan Phillips come back, but not at $30 million. Reed Blankenship got less than I thought, but I still think you can improve that position. Cornerback was already a hole we have to fill. I would have loved to see Nakobe Dean come back, and that's probably my one gripe. But, we knew what the situation was beforehand, so I can't act like I'm surprised. You know? You can't get the Cowboys out of the head? Well, I don't know how you can say that. Dude, I literally get talked about Cowboys channel all day long. What are you talking about? I haven't listened to Sills like 2 years. I saw him. He's going off, and the Eagles are screwing everything up. Honest question. Let me ask honestly. If the Eagles would have signed Jaelan Phillips and matched the Carolina Panthers, and let's say they would have retained him, do you think he would have said that's a great move? I bet you he would complain. He would still complain that they overpaid for a good player, not a star. And what is Howie Roseman doing? No matter what the Eagles did, he was going to complain. Yeah, I don't. Let me see what I can find. Where did you guys see that stuff? On Patrick Queen. Why would the Eagles want Patrick Queen? You know what I mean? Like, seriously. I don't really understand that at all. Do they have something up their sleeve? I would rather have Nakobe Dean. Sometimes people, they throw the Eagles at everything because the Eagles will talk to everybody about every player. So maybe the Eagles, it was brought up to them in conversation, but I have a hard time believing the Eagles would be interested in Patrick Queen. I don't buy it. And where would you put him? Hey, Philly, we lost 5 players and we're still better than the Cry Boys. Tell Mark to get his head out of the clouds. We are. Look, I like Jaelan Phillips. Jaelan Phillips, not Reggie White. Jaelan Phillips is a good player with Pro Bowl potential. That's it. Never lived up to it. Something big is coming. Yeah, you watch. One big move and that'll be that. Let me see. I think Game Time Brian is texting me. Let's see what he's... Marcus Dixon coached Chubb during the time with the Broncos in 2022. Dixon's work with the defensive line was credited by players like Chubb and DJ. Chris Farley was with Chubb in Denver as well. The plan all along has been Chubb and Gary. Both Chubb and Gary are strong ties to Parker. So he's trying to tell me that the Cowboys are trying to get Bradley Chubb. Maybe they are. I think Bradley Chubb would be a good fit for the Eagles, but it's not going to make or break the Eagles. So I get all these dingbat pies at the end of the day, right? Next year, everything works out for the Eagles. I have $103 million cap space. Next year's draft will be better than this one. We are in a great shape. We are. Matter of fact, I'm all for stacking like first round picks next year. Like, I have no issue if the Eagles trade their first round pick this year and try to get a 2027. Like, if you want to go in with 2 or 3 first round picks next year, I'm totally good with it. If the Eagles had $103 million right now, I would have want them to make the same moves they made, minus bringing back Nakobe Dean. But what's the deal what's the deal with Patrick Queen though? That's what I want to know. Does anybody have a link to where they talk about that? I think Woolen would be fine. Yeah, I mean the thing at corner is you're not gonna pay. I don't think a top level corner, right? Like, I don't think you're gonna break the bank for cornerback and then have to pay Coop and then have to pay Quinyon Mitchell. So I think you're looking at like somebody better than a Dory Jackson, obviously. Somebody competent. Brisker, the safety, would be like that. He kind of intrigues me. I think look, obviously we want to see moves and it's fun, but I mean, I think the Eagles by far are playing this okay. If you said what are my 2 gripes, Nakobe Dean, and I would have liked to see Shaheed here, but that's a lot harder to get somebody who just won Super Bowl off the team they just won Super Bowl with. He might have had no interest in moving, so I can't hold that against the Eagles. I can't. So, I mean, we'll see. Get one, yeah. Eagles going to sit on their hands. It's not a bad idea. Are there really players worth it? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. What about Abedeki? He's from Atlanta, right? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I haven't watched enough of them. I didn't watch a lot of Atlanta, but maybe it depends what they think he could do. I think you can really replicate what you lost with Jaelan Phillips with two signings. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, I would love C.J. Gardner. If you get C.J. Gardner-Johnson back, then I'm going to have to start taking ring measurements because we're probably going to go win a Super Bowl again. Every time we're on the team, boom, Waste all the time and money to watch backups when the number 2 seed. Well, yeah, that's Steven. That is a big issue for me too. Like that is my biggest problem with this team is I just don't. That coach just. Like I want to give him credit for hey, you went to 2 Super Bowls and all that, but like stuff like that, like what a horrible attitude, Afraid of my man. Thank you for the super chat, first of the day. You are the man. Thank you. He said, waiting for the JC extension this week. Yeah, let's get that mother humper done, baby. Thank you for the super chat. Dallas 505, thank you for super chat. He goes, hey, Philly, why don't you play Roblox anymore? I've never played Roblox in my life, dude. What do you mean anymore? Are you playing with somebody from my account? Tyler, thank you for the super chat. Hey, bro, holding Philly down in the Battle Royale. Pray we get AJ at this point. Maybe Slay, CJ Gardner-Johnson veteran deals. I'm giving you Silos money. Listen, I appreciate that, Tyler. Look, tomorrow it's gonna be 2 guys making out in front of me. It's gonna be disgusting. The love that we're gonna hear about the Cowboys and how bad the Eagles are, it's gonna be crazy. And I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna hold the fort down. I'm gonna battle them back. But the truth is no matter what the Eagles did, do you really think a guy like Cilio is gonna and I love Cilio. I have no problem. I like the guy. But he kills the Eagles no matter what they do. Am I trading Carter? No. Nah. I mean, it would take something astronomical for me to trade Carter. What's the point in drafting top 10 talented players and then having them at 24 years old help you win a Super Bowl and then getting rid of them? There's no way you get better. But if you get such a haul, like such a trade, like a Herschel Walker type deal, then and to me, any player is tradable at that point. That's my thinking, Caitlin. Crispy says, Philly, what's up, man? How you doing? If we get signings today, who is the one player you would? One player, if I had to choose a player, they're talking about the Eagles, hold on NFL Network. They said there's not much common ground with the Eagles and Patriots, that Patriots think the Eagles are being ridiculous, basically, in their asking price. New England could take a crap. How about Brisk? How about a safety? Maybe a Cooner or another edge rusher. I do think you need to try to address the edge rusher, though, before it thins out even more. So maybe a guy like Bradley Chubb, somebody like that, or Brisker, the safety, would be good. I would love to bring C.J. Gardner-Johnson back. If you gave me the option to do that, I would in a minute. You and Joey must not got Jalen and AJ issues? Y'all don't talk like that no more. What do you mean, cool? We just did a 2.5 hour live stream the other day. I don't know what I think you've been gone a little too long, buddy. JC's already been extended to the Raiders. You can't extend the Raiders. They can't do anything. The only big name we lost was Crosby. Let's be honest. All the other names are replaceable. We have 9 draft picks, getting comp picks for those players off. We can free up cap space. Yeah, I mean, that would have been a good move. I definitely think that would have improved your team. But let me ask you, isn't it interesting that with this free agency market, like the biggest moves to me, in my opinion, that have been the most like consequential are the trades. I think the trades have been bigger than the free agency signings. I'm okay with what we've done so far, but obviously, things depend on how they end up building this roster in the end. K-Gun says the only big name we lost was. I just read that. Yeah, I literally just read that. I'm giving JC no damn extension until he matures and shows us he will work his ass off. They could definitely go that route. It's a risky route because it could cost you a lot more money, but you could pick up his contract, just like you did with Jordan Davis. It gives you another 2 years. You don't have to rush, and he can come prove it. Get Njoku and draft Sadiq. I don't mind that at all. Oh, look, it actually showed up, this one. New Jersey Fishing Maniac celebrates 27 months of membership. Thank you so much, man. 500. What's going on, my man? How are you? Yeah, tight end Dawson signed with the Buffalo. So they got 2 tight ends now, right? The Eagles are definitely done this year. We have less than last year. How would the 49ers and Rams got better? We got worse, no bull. What did the Niners do? Oh, well, they got Mike Evans, right? The Rams got better. The Rams got better. The one thing I'll say about the Rams, they don't give 2 shits about draft picks. They will trade everything they need to trade to get the players. I think the Rams have definitely gotten better, especially in the secondary. I think, 49ers might have gotten a little bit better. But, I mean, it's just too early. You're day 2 of this whole thing. I don't think there was that many top-end free agents that were going to change anything. Dude, like, Jaelan Phillips was like, what, the number 1 rated free agent? Come on, he's a good player. He's good, he's got talent. But he's not a $30 million a year guy. I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm great. I would like it to be Bradley Chubb, probably. Jimbo says F Cilio. Cilio's alright. But he knows what he's doing. He knows he's getting a rise out of the Eagle fans. We'll deal with him and Mark tomorrow. Mark is like telling people on his stream that I'm upset. Like he makes things up. Like he's saying in his videos, like, oh, Philly is there. I was on his channel and he is losing it and he's pissed off and he's just shaking his head out of he's so confused. I'm like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. We have lost 3 starters so far. So on that level, yes, the Eagles have gotten worse because they've lost 3 guys. However, we don't play football till September. So until we can say for sure, we got to see what the response is, like what they do. So, I'm in wait and see mode. If this was September 10th, I would be definitely complaining. Trick says, just give Dallas the division title 500 and call night on your stream, right? Just give up. Just give up. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys, they got themselves a safety. And they got Rashad Gary. Oh, boy. I wouldn't have even wanted to sign him if he was a free agent. Dallas 505, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, why don't you watch Captain Underpants? I don't even know what that is. They acting like McCaffrey's the only play worth a lot of picks. Yeah. No matter how much we love players, football's still business. At the end of the day, that's right. That's right. You're not getting past the Niners, Philly. We'll see. I mean, I don't even know. It's so hard for me to even think about, like, where we're going to be record. Like, dude, I mean, we don't even have a schedule yet. Rams barely beat the Niners, beat us both, got better, and we got worse. Are we going nowhere? Yeah, but yeah, we got worse yesterday. Yeah, that's fair to say. But it's March, man. Like, don't we gotta wait to see how they fill out the roster to really say? Like, nobody that they got rid of is so good that it's going to change everything, except for arguably Nakobe Dean, and he's got to stay healthy. And then I'll say this: the one guy that they addressed out of the three guys they've lost is Nakobe Dean. They addressed it with a first round pick, and I also keep hearing that the Eagles draft was horrible last year. They produced two guys with their first two picks that showed they could play in the NFL. I don't see how it's a horrible draft. Yeah, Palantir says we draft so well. Of course, players leave. It's part of. I mean, we're drafting like I've never seen anything like it with the amount of successful picks over like the course of the 4 or 5 years. We can't even keep everybody. It's crazy. Dobbs is coming back to Philly. Is that your prediction or you think? Jaquan Brisker would be great. I liked him coming out of college. Yeah, you want AJ paid a price. Yep. We have no money. Stop. We have money. I think we got about $24 million. And we could free up. I mean, we could free up money if we really want to. The free agency, I think teams blowing their free agent money on this year, I think it's a mistake. And we got 791 people, but only 161 likes. Come on, you got to hit that like button. Even if you don't agree with me, you got to hit the like button. At least I'm telling you what I think. Who says that people that want you want to come down? What do you mean? I don't understand. There's no one to sign left. Like, Matthew, who would you have, like, who do you think that we missed out on that was so good that can't be like replaced? AJ Brown for Christian Gonzalez a second. I don't think the Patriots would do that. And secondly, if the Eagles did that, then how are you going to pay Cooper and Q? There's about 10 stud safeties in this draft. We'll be fine, but I wouldn't mind Brisker. I like Brisker, but I wouldn't mind him. But I agree with you. See, I think that the Eagles are going to draft a safety early, like second, third round. And then I think they're going to go ahead and put him in, start him right away next to Makuba. And they're going to get a veteran corner on the other side. And they're going to say to the veteran corner, to Q and to Coop, hold down the secondary. That's what I think they're going to do. When we re-sign the old Jets nickel, do you think they'll make Coop a safety now that Reed is gone and move Nick? No, I don't think so. I think Cooper's always going to be nickel for the most part, and eventually maybe safety. I do think that they do want to move him around at some point, like a Swiss Army knife. What do you think about what do you think about Carter going to safety? Do you think they could look to do that? They're talking about the Eagles real quick. Let's see. Garofalo. No momentum on an A.J. Brown trade. Beautiful. Thank you. He's saying they don't want to get rid of him. How is Tank doing at New Homes? It's probably the most important question. Oh, Tank is rocking, man. He's doing really good. He got big though. Yeah. The radio is saying we're effed. Yeah. Well, I always believe what they say. You can't be effed right now. It's day 2. I mean, dude, what if the Eagles made a trade? Let's say, I don't know, whoever you want. Let's say the Eagles at the draft make a trade for Myles Garrett. You still going to feel the same way? What I'm saying is there's just so much time. Like, let's see who they replace these guys with. That's the important question. I think AJ stays, man. Howie doesn't want to let him go unless he's getting Myles Garrett and picks. I agree. I don't think he wants to let him go unless he's getting a haul. And I love the fact that people are like, oh, well, the Eagles will now settle for a 2027 first-round pick. Well, I'd settle for that over a 2026 first. Yeah, the Lions signed Isaiah Pacheco. Yeah, let me go through here see if we got anything rolling. Yeah, Cowboys are taking a victory lap. We were in it for Nakobe Dean, but Nakobe Dean, respect to him, man. He said, I ain't going to Dallas. F Dallas. And he went with his gut. They said it was close between Dallas and Raiders, basically the same offer. And he went with his gut. He went with the Raiders. Smart man. Let's see. Yeah, it's. Do you notice? Like, does anybody notice also that the amount of signings yesterday, today seemed low? Like, usually this free agent frenzy is like, to me, it's way busier, and I don't think there was as many guys getting signed, and some of the guys that were getting signed yesterday would be signed like day 4 on normal years of free agency. I just think it was a weaker class. So they're on NFL Network saying the Eagles aren't getting better. They said the Eagles aren't doing anything. And the other teams are catching them, but the Eagles are still better. You got a better chance of hitting a lot with CJs, but I know that's the truth, right? That's the key to the whole thing. Just sign CJ Gardner-Johnson, and you go back. We should just save our money and address edge rusher and safety in the draft. Well, possibly. See, I really think that you got to address the offensive line in the draft. And early. And you got to get a tight end. I mean, look, there's no question the Eagles, let me say this. I'm not saying that everything is roses and that the Eagles don't have issues and that the Eagles don't have to get better and they don't have problems. I'm not saying any of that. They do. That is still true yesterday. It's still true today. They've got to figure out some things. But what I'm saying is for the amount of money that they're giving some of these guys, we can replace them a lot better. We're going for Patrick Queen. He's on the last. But why? What's the why? What are they going to do with Patrick Queen? Am I wrong? Patrick Queen's still off the ball linebacker. No. Is he rushing the quarterback on the edge? Am I missing something? Bold Brew, thank you for the super chat, my man. He goes, the problem last season was the Eagles didn't play or act like they were defending Super Bowl champions. They weren't. They looked like they celebrated too long. Yeah, and I think they, look, the Eagles tried, I think, to do some things that were right. You drafted, they had guys that they expected to be better, and they were disappointments. And then I think the offensive coordinator was a major disappointment. And then I think, the offensive line was just beat to hell. So, I mean, yeah. Reek Woolen, but I appreciate that, Bull Brew. You are correct. Reed Woolen, like he would be. I think he would be an improvement over Adoree', right? He's not going to break the bank. He's a veteran. He's 6'4". Yeah, I like it. What about the kid? What do you guys think? I forget his name. What's his name? The kid from Chicago. Because here's a question. The kid from Chicago, I can't remember his name, but he kind of broke out and came out of nowhere last year, right? Would you go for a guy like that who looks like he may be just entering or just figured it out? Or do you go for a guy like Woolen who lost his starting position and maybe on a decline? That kid from Chicago is interesting to me. I can't remember his name though. What about the edge rusher from the other one? Are you talking about the linebacker? Yeah, yeah. What up, 500? Hope you're having a good day, bro. Go, bro. I am, Jared. How are you? Howie's on vacation. The Eagles are done. We need an edge, safety, and corner. Yes, we do. Carter showed up out of shape and had a bad season. Well, he was also dealing with a shoulder injury that I don't know if he didn't tell them up front or early enough. Probably should have the surgery. But I think that you're not wrong. I don't think he showed up in shape. I don't think he was ready to go. And you know what? I think that's why Jordan Davis is such a valuable guy to mentor him, because he showed how to do it. Booty clapping Cowboy fans. Go Cowgirls. Eagles will be fine. Howie will work his magic. Yeah, they'll be fine. Philly radio saying 49ers and Rams got better and barely beat one and gotten beaten the other, and we lost. Honestly, in the draft, don't feel top 10. Well, listen, we beat the Rams, right? We didn't beat the 49ers. Yeah, I think they both did get better. That is true. But I don't think you can take anything out of the games last year and try to assume that, hey, well, the 49ers beat you by this many points, and now they're better, so they're going to beat you by this many points. I don't think it works that way. Lions signed Pacheco. Yeah, I saw that. The Chiefs secondary they did. The kid from Chicago, I can't remember his name. Dallas 505, thank you for Super Chat. Because you kind of look like the guy from Philly Shakedown. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what they say. Him or Denzel Washington. But thank you so much for the Super Chat. Shay says the Queen was fake news. I think it probably was. Yeah. Yeah, the Panthers overpaid. The Panthers overpaid. And I think a lot of people killing the Eagles, not everybody, but I think a lot of people that are killing the Eagles for not bringing back Jaelan Phillips would be killing the Eagles if they paid that much for him. Philly is a crybaby, always running your mouth about Mark Holmes. Yeah, I'm horrible. I'm just a horrible human being, dude. I'm horrible. People are bitching about Crosby, 2 first-round picks. I'm not doing that unless it's for Garrett. Yeah, I wouldn't have given 2 first-round picks either. I would have given 1, and then as far as Hendricks, like he wants over $30 million. He ain't worth that. He to me, the way he's asking for a contract, and wanting so much, I feel like he's trying to get paid because he knows he's done. I think he's pulling the old Hugh Douglas when he went to Jacksonville. Yes, the Rams got better, but they already lost Donald, Ramsey, Cup. They can't pay their stars. Wait 2-3 years and they'll lose other players. The LA, why we're saying we win the draft. Well, listen, and the other thing is they got to beat the Eagles. The Rams can't beat the Eagles. We're in their head. 49ers beat us because we had shit offensive coordinator and that lame Niner fan in here again instead of worrying about his own. Yeah, well, the to me, the downfall of the Eagles was the coaching staff last year. It was the offensive coordinator. Woolen, Chubb, Brisker. So, okay, let me ask you. If the Eagles signed, you know what? Let me do a poll question with that. Because I think it's an interesting question, to be honest with you. Okay. I want to ask you guys a question. We're going to have a little fun. All right? I don't even know how many people we have in here. But we got, what do we got? 962 mother humpers in here. Thank you so much. Hit that like. Make sure you guys subscribe. I'm curious if William Barroso did a year ago. That's what I want to know. Okay. All right. I'm curious, you guys. Too much. Is that a better? Why won't it let me do a poll? Oh, I don't want this. No. Okay. I hope it makes sense. Let me catch up here. The death threat. Thank you for the nice generous super chat, man. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. He says, I didn't know Denzel Washington was taking over 500. Yes. As far as AJ goes, we don't want to trade him. So of course you need to pay more for a player we want to keep. Absolutely. 100%. That's the thing that they don't seem to understand. We don't want to trade him. So you got to entice us. You're going to have to overpay. So stop complaining, Patriots. Either pony up or shut up. And thank you for that super chat. Sympathy, thank you for the super chat. Only trade I'll do is 2 first-round picks and maybe Nolan Smith for Miles. I would do that. Even though Miles is older, I think I would do that because he's such a special player. Random Anton, thank you for the super chat. Come to the chat, taking a victory lap for winning day one of free agency. You can't make this up. Howie Cook, I know they're acting like it's all over. We don't play football on Sunday. Devontae Jones, what's going on? How are you? We haven't even signed a punter. Come on, sign Brandon Mann, the puss slaying man already. I like Man. You know I think they do need to sign him. He's a good punter, man. I agree with you. And thank you for that super chat. Johnny Blaze of Madden, what's going on? Where you ranked in Madden? But thank you for the super chat. I'll keep Brown, take this year, first, a third, and next year's first and third. Move up in front of the Chiefs for Sadiq. Chiefs will get him if he falls. Yeah, I think the Chiefs might too. Even though the Kelsey's coming back one more year. Question is, where does Sadiq go? Because if he fell to 23, I would take him in a second. And then I would come back in the second round and I would try to take that safety from Oregon. Brisket. Guy say, did I write brisket? No, I didn't write brisket, did I? What a moron if I did that. What up, El Yepo? How are you? Yeah, you think he's going top 20? Wow. He might. I mean, dude, they compared him athletically to Coop. You might be right about that, but I like him. He wasn't getting shit, of course. Of course we're not. How is Mike going to overpay for Woolen? He's good, but he's not that good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they'll overpay. Food always on the mind. Did I write brisket? Really? Damn, what an idiot, dude. John celebrates 46 months of membership. Thank you so much. Today is the Goddard deadline. Dead cap kicks in. I don't know, man. I don't have a good feeling about Goddard coming back, but maybe he'll come back one more year. I would love to see Goddard come back one more year. I still think he could play, especially if you could get Goddard and like a draft pick and let him learn behind him. K-Gun says, Philly 500, you should do another poll. Will it be another 30-year drought before the Cowboys make a Super Bowl appearance? Or will they make one in the next 30 years? I think that's a good idea. Darian says, what up, 500? What's going on? How are you? Dad says, nobody cares about your old wooden Super Bowl trophies from last century. Yeah, Dallas hasn't done anything that has blown me away. AJ is the reason why we sucked last season. He dropped passes on purpose in the playoff games. Didn't run routes hard all season. He's going to sabotage us again. I think he has to go. Wow, you think he's sabotaged? I'd say, man, that's pretty extreme. Obviously, if a guy's sabotaging you, yeah, you would have to get rid of him. But I don't think he did. Like, I don't think he dropped it on purpose. I just think that he didn't do a good job of letting his emotions and all his issues affect him on the field. It was affecting him on the field, and he's kind of got to block that. We lost Dean and Blankenship. Yes, sir. We did. Brisket's always a good thing. I know, right? 500 safety for Oregon is good, but like the Warren, the safety, that Q play. Yeah, I heard a lot of things about the kid from Toledo. Yeah. $500. Oh, what it do? Crazy couple of days for the Birds. Lost some soldiers, but I think Jordan Davis' situation was awesome. I think it was great. I think you needed to extend Jordan Davis. It would have been nice. It would have been nice to work out a deal with Phillips. He's a good player, but it's not the end. It's not a $30 million. Nakobe Dean, that kind of hurts a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it would have been nice to keep him, but you know that ended when they drafted Jahad Campbell. AJ was not the issue. Nick and the staff was. So I agree with you. I agree. That obviously was not my opinion. That was somebody else's. Yeah, I mean, I think Chubb's definitely got to be an option. I mean, listen, he's what, 30 years old? So let me pull his number. He's 30 years old. He had 8.5 sacks last year. And don't forget, he knows Vic Fangio. He played with Vic Fangio, so he knows him well. And Vic knows him. He played with him, in Denver and in Miami. So that's good. Now, I know Game Time Brian, shout out to him. He's trying to tell me the Cowboys are going after Chubb as well because Christian Parker has connections to him when he was in Denver. And he did. He was part of that staff at some point. So, yeah, I think Chubb would be a decent option. I don't think, I don't think it's like, you don't need, in order to make up for Jaelan Phillips, you don't need Myles Garrett. Although I would love to have Myles Garrett. Don't get me wrong, but that would be a huge improvement. The Eagles own the East, Cowboys on the couch, 1,000%. Philly 500, would you be excited if we signed Chubb and Goddard? I would like it. Yeah, I would like it because I would think that you could get Chubb at a cheaper value than what you got at Jaelan Phillips. And I think that he could play pretty much the same. Carter for Brock Bowers? No, I like Brock Bowers a lot. But no, I wouldn't trade interior defensive lineman for, I value that more than a tight end. I feel like it's easier to find a tight end than to find a defensive tackle of the quality that Carter has. Speak Spanish? Hola. Just like that, y'all gotta beat us a whole lot of years, both games, to bridge the gap in the wins losses. I don't know what we're talking about. Chubb is definitely an option. Yeah, and he's not the only option. And he may get overpaid too. I think these edge rushers are all getting overpaid. And that's because the market wasn't that great. You might have to go ahead and dress that in a trade. The dude from Minnesota, Grenard, he could be a guy that they trade for too. Reed signing hurt you. He only got $8.5 million. That was a little surprising. That was a little bit surprising. I thought he was going to get more. I thought they thought he was going to get more. So the Eagles could have easily signed Reed Blankenship if they wanted him. So the only thing I can conclude is that they didn't think at $8.5 million that Reed was better than somebody that they could get in the draft. That's how I look at it. So I feel like I probably agree with them, to be honest with you. This is a good draft for edge rushers, safeties, and cornerbacks, and wide receivers. I'm good with addressing some of these positions in the draft. I think the Eagles need a proven edge now, though. They do. They need an edge rusher now, not just a guy to develop, which they also could use. But they do. They need another edge rusher. It would be nice, to be honest, if Nolan Smith would live up to his draft status. Yeah, Grenard could be a guy. So you think they could get? I do think they could get him. And from what I was reading about it, is that he's only going to cost the team a second day pick. So they've got multiple picks on day 2. Yeah, they could definitely get him, and they might. And it would be and to me that would be good. Philly, have you seen War Machine? Is that you mean Iron Man's buddy? No. I don't know exactly who you mean. Did you see that? Yeah, I saw that Becton was in Philly doing autographs, and he said that he would love to play with the Eagles again. But the thing I wonder with Becton now is because Stoutland's gone, I don't know if they would have the same interest. I like brown gravy on my brisket and a little bit. Oh my god! All right, I gotta get rid of it. It's gonna drive me nuts. I can't believe I wrote brisket. What a moron! What a fat bastard! Only Philly 500 would do something so stupid. No, I didn't write brisket. Damn. I believed you guys. Damn. 73% of people said they would be better, though. And that's 262 votes. Man, you guys got me on that one. I'm thinking my fat ass was thinking about food subconsciously. Yeah, it's really quiet with Dallas Goedert. I mean, look, if the Eagles could get him back one more year, maybe we'll get a break with Goddard. Maybe he goes and teams don't want to give him what he wants, and he decides to hell with it. I'll come back and show that I'm worth it. Right tackle, maybe. Yeah, I would love it. Like if they could get if they drafted a right tackle that they think could be Lane's replacement, but could play right guard for a year or two, that would be perfect. Trade for edge rusher, draft 1 and 3rd. Yeah, you could do that. Tank Bigsby hopefully will be running back 2 this year. Oh, I definitely think he will. But I also think they should draft another running back. I like Brisket too, pal. I thought I wrote his name Brisket. I was like, oh, you fat ass, you're thinking about too much food. What are you doing? What are you doing? 958 Mother Humpers in the chat. Hit that like. Make sure you subscribe. Let me give a little search here. Figure if we can get anything. All right. So here's a couple interesting things. I'm gonna pull this up real quick because I want to talk about both these things. So Falcons Jahan Dotson got 2-year contract, $15 million, right? $10 million, I think. I think was it $10 million guaranteed? $6 million signing bonus. So $2 million of that is guaranteed. $7 million, 2 million catches, yards, touchdown. 2 million playtime catches, yards, 2027 escalator. So APY 8.5 million. So they overpaid a little bit. Here's something. Ryan Fowler wrote this. Source: the Philadelphia Eagles will host Indiana wide receiver Omar Cooper Jr. for a visit. One of the premier wideouts in the class could be a target at 23. So in case they trade A.J. Brown, they're going to look at receivers. Now, everybody's going to lose their mind probably over that and say that, oh, they're going to trade A.J., they're going to trade A.J. I think that in case they trade A.J., they probably have to do that. But the move is to wait 1 year. Just wait 1 year. So that's pretty interesting. What are your thoughts on the Eagles bringing in a receiver for a visit? And I don't know a lot about him. Let's see. What's his name? Omar Cooper? I don't know nothing about him. See what side? Let me see if I can pull up his numbers here. Let's see here. All right, so Omar Cooper is. Let me pull this up. All right, so Omar. I don't know if you guys can even see that. Omar Cooper is 6 foot, 201 pounds. He had 69 catches for 937 yards. He had 13 touchdowns. I mean, I have to go watch him and stuff. Let's see what the combine results were. Let's see. He ran a 4.42. Okay. I'd rather have you know who. I'd rather keep AJ. Pursuing Queen shows me we had the money for Nakobe Dean, but his injury history mattered. It suggested Jihad is being groomed to replace Bond, who could be traded this offseason or the next couple of years or cut next year. My honest opinion of it is I don't believe the rumors. I don't believe they're real. I don't believe the Eagles are really pursuing Patrick Queen. It doesn't make any sense. He probably costs you more than Dean. Okay, you're talking to somebody else, you guys. So I'll just skip that. They can hold off to next draft, but that's what they did with Kelsey drafted Jurgens early. Well, I wanna target Jeremiah Smith. I want to get like 3 first round picks, and then I wanna jump up in the draft and get him. Yeah, Njoku, yeah, the whole tight end market for the most part is quiet, except for what Knox got re-signed. Kwity Paye is going to sign with the Raiders. Let me try to catch up this chat. It's sad on Reed's Insta. He was talking about Reed and Coop friendship. Yeah, well, I mean, it's called FaceTime. And you could do it and you could see your friend and talk to him. And then on days when they don't have to play football and they're off, they've got enough money to be able to get on a plane and go see each other. They will be fine. They can even do their podcasts from different locations. I don't feel bad. His draft process says he's a strong slot bully who has a starter plus grade. Says his route running lacks polish, but not the best blocker. Would the Eagles draft another wide receiver and they keep A.J. Brown too? That would be interesting. We ain't getting Smith top 2. Well, we'll see where he goes. But I'm telling you right now, I would make a play for it. And I would go into next year's draft with 3 2027 first round picks. If you give me 3 first round picks, I don't care if he's 1 or 2. You can get up and get him. Remember, when you trade up in the top 5, it's always cheaper than if it's a quarterback. If it's a quarterback, it's way harder. So it's not impossible. But here's the great thing about it, though. I got to say, Maxwell, is even if you're correct, and let's say the Eagles tried my plan and it didn't work, they tried, well, guess what? Then you're stuck with 3 first-round picks in a very deep draft that is supposed to have really good players. I think that's a good consolation prize, no? Losing Dean was tough, but come on, it wasn't like we haven't played without him before. Good luck in Vegas. No, you're right. You're right. I like Dean. I would have loved to keep him, but it's not like we didn't know it was coming. Once he got hurt in Green Bay, that was the end. But you're 100% correct. You like Chris Bell? He's day 2. What up, CJ Davis? What the hell are we doing? We ain't making no moves. Who did you not get that you think has really hurt us? Like who did we miss out on? Yeah, we haven't made any moves yet, but we will. We will make moves, and we'll replace the guys, I believe. So we just gotta have a little patience. I think this is one of the worst free agency classes that we've had in a long time. It sounds like he's going to be round 1. Well, I would consider him round 1. I don't know if the Eagles would, but breaking news. Oh, that Rashid. Now that was probably my number 1 target. To be quite honest with you, if you said who's my number 1 target, it was probably him. Like seriously, that's what I think of this. You notice how quiet? Like, there's nothing going on. Usually, right now, you can't stop the amount of news breaks on this. Like when I watch these free agent frenzies on NFL Network, usually all you hear is signs the first 2-3 days. That's all. It's like every 5 minutes. We've been here an hour and nothing. because the free agency class is not that great. Nobody's left that's worth anything. Who was worth something? Like my question is like, who was out there that people were like, we got to get this guy? Because my feeling was I didn't put a lot of videos out this year saying, here's a target, I would love to get this guy. Because to me, there wasn't a lot of guys like that were like going to change things, I think there's a lot of decent guys that can help your roster and fix it if you're in the right situation. But I don't think there's a lot of stars that are going to change everything. Like you look at the Cowboys, they got themselves a safety. Yeah, he looks like he's a decent safety. I don't think he's going to change anything. Look at who they signed as a pass rusher. They still got to go get somebody else. They're trying to get multiple guys to replace Micah Parsons. They should have just kept him. Terry says, truly next man mentality has got to be tested with some of our backups. Trotter Jr. Company have to show us who's worthy of being on the field. Well, we already know it's going to be Bourne and Jihad Campbell. But I think Trotter, the short amount of snaps that we saw from Trotter last year, I like him. I liked it. We need a veteran safety. Yeah, I agree. And Newsom at corner, bring back. I think he signed. I think Newsom signed today. Didn't he sign with the Giants? I actually think he signed. Now they're talking about Trey Hendrickson. The guy wants $35 million a year. I think he's done. I think Hendrickson's been banged up. I think he's too old. I think he's slowing up. And I think he's trying to get one big payday before he goes. Hey, Philly, I think you're going to really like the wide receiver Jordan Tyson. Yeah, I'll have to check him out. CJ Gardner-Johnson, what do you think? I would love it. I love it. I would love to see CJ Gardner-Johnson come back. That means we could get ready to go back to the Super Bowl. Philly, what is your number one most eaten food? It's got to be spaghetti. Or pasta in general. It is a business, no doubt. Steelers signed Jamal Dean on a 3-year deal. Yeah, I think they did it last year, right? I'm literally reading about Hendrickson right now, counting him out, coming to Eagles. Wow, 30+ million? And, he's been banged up a lot. And to me, I think I was reading that people have concerns about, I forget what, a specific injury that he's had. And he wants, $35 million a year. Forget that. Let him go. I hope he goes to Dallas. I want Dallas to sign Hendrickson. Please sign him. He's going to pull his eye out. I think he's pulling a Hugh Douglas. Hugh Douglas, if you guys remember, Douglas was like, I knew I was done. I had nothing left. But I had to go take that last pay. And then remember, he took that big money and went to Jacksonville. Yeah, Clyde, you're right. When you draft great players in the NFL, this is going to happen. It's not baseball. It's so true. It's really, I've never seen anything like it with the Eagles. They have drafted so well. And we're talking back-to-back rounds in a 4-year span that they just can't keep everybody. Grenard and Chubb would boost the edge extremely. It would definitely. Big Rhythm says, 5 you have to give those Cowboy fans Sills Mark hell tomorrow. Did you see Sills claim Dean was heading to Dallas hours before free agency, then deleted the tweet? He did. That's great. Look, I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna say stuff that they don't want to hear, but it's gonna be the truth. Yeah, Bengals always ruin players. We are not going back to the Super Bowl this year, bro. Can you tell me what the next winning lottery number is? Since you can predict the future. The Eagles make a move yet? Not yet. But that's not a bad thing. Jordan Tyson is tied for the best separated draft with Lemon. Oh, okay. He's 6'2"? Yeah, I'll take a look at him. Yeah, I think Renard's a great target because I think he can play. He's going to be cheaper, and he's only going to cost you a day 2 pick. You know. Were you talking about Tasheem Johnson? No, I wasn't talking about him. But you played against him in high school. He was at Newman Goretti in South Philly Patriots. Oh, okay. Okay, no, I wasn't talking about him. Oh, man, who was it? I can't remember the kid's name. He's a big corner, too. He's 6'4". He had a bit of a coming out this year. Didn't really do anything the first, parts of his career, but last year he had a good year. What was his name? Nashawn Wright. That's who I'm thinking of. Nashawn Wright. He's 6'4". He's the same size as Woolen. Except for he's had really only one good year. Right? But it was this year. And then you had, he may be a guy that you could get cheap, that maybe he broke out and maybe he's going to give you a few good years, something like that. I was thinking he would be a good second corner, a guy I might take a chance on. Bald Eagle Davis Super Chat. He goes, bigger loss, Christian Parker or Dean? I think Parker. I would say Dean, but I think both have been replaced. If we didn't have Vic Fangio, I would agree with you. 500, you have to give the Cowboys. Yeah, no, I will. Minshew signs with Arizona, and that's why Arizona is Arizona. I would love Woolen or Brisker. But I was thinking Wright because he's only had one good year, but it was last year. Right? So he's maybe broke out. As where Woolen literally struggled and maybe didn't have his best year. So sometimes you get guys on the decline, it doesn't stop. Sometimes you get guys, they figure it out late, and then they give you some good years. I think Wright would be an interesting guy that probably be pretty cheap that you could, take a chance on, who, maybe he would be a second good corner. Since Max signed with the team, should the Eagles try to land Miles or Hendrickson? I wouldn't touch Hendrickson. But if the Eagles want to go after Myles Garrett, as long as Jalen Carter is on the roster to play with him, I'm all for it. Dobbs just went to the Pats. Bye-bye. I'll take that. Here you go. Yep. I would take that. That means Patriots are giving up, baby. We win. That's a win for us. All right, here you go. Breaking news. Not Eagles related though. John McMullen wrote this, he said, Schultz report breaking: the Patriots are signing Romeo Dobbs to a 3-year, $60 million deal per multiple sources. $20 million a year for him. Good luck with that. And hopefully, at least for a while, the A.J. Brown stuff can end. And that's a win for the Eagles as far as I'm concerned. So that's good. That's good. They can have Dobbs, and then, we could keep A.J. Brown. Now we got to get A.J. on board. Rocky, thank you for the super chat. He said Dobbs signs with the Patriots. Yep. I love it. I love it. Yeah, AJ is saying it looks like he's gonna stay. Unless the Patriots think we'll get Dobbs and then trade him to Philly. Forget about it. I think that the AJ Brown stuff will die out. And then it'll pick up at the draft. And then it'll die out. And then it'll pick up after June 1st. And then we'll see from there. Who did the Browns sign? Packers got weaker. They did. Yeah. AJ to the Raiders, highly doubt it. I don't think the Raiders want him. All right, so what are they doing here? Wow. Geno Smith signs with the Jets? Oh, a trade. The Jets acquired Geno Smith for late round picks. What the frig, Jets? I think the Jets are tanking. You think they're tanking for Manning? Dude, if you want to lose games, get Geno Smith, baby. Amari Cooper's a brother. What? You're saying that Amari Cooper is Darius Cooper's brother? Is that true? Lady L'Oreal, thank you for being here. I just joined in. I'm sure you've talked about this already, but how you feel about RD getting traded? Right now I feel we're all right. I feel like there's nothing that we can't fix with the guys we lost. But it's just a matter of who that is and when. So, I think it's to be determined. But I think people are panicking way too much. You wanted to trade Hurts for the Jets. I think the Jets they're tanking, dude. Blankenship replacement can be Marcus Epps, way cheaper, about the same player. Oh, I don't think Epps is that good. I don't know why everybody thinks Epps is so good. Like, I think he played all right, but I don't know. I think Reed's better than him. I think Epps is a good backup safety. Miss Most Stream, any news on? No, not yet. If you take Epps and you tell him you got to play 17 games as a starter, I don't think he'll have a better year than Reed Blankenship. He maybe played in spotted duty here or there this year and looked good, but I don't think he's a starting safety. I don't think Epps is a starting safety. The Bills want AJ on the low. You think so? There you go. 4 years, $70 million. Romeo Dobbs, see you in New England. The Eagles are coming. Bearded Jabaro, thank you for the super chat, my man. Says Nakobe getting sent back to the Eagles for a 6th-round pick and head coach Nick Sirianni. Now that's a genius move. I like it. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. They're talking about this. I love it. They're not really saying anything except for that the Eagles, A.J. Brown, he might have to be willing to go to more teams. Apparently, A.J. is only willing to go to so many teams. So, he's just staying. Most people do not understand free agency spending money. Does not make you better. Drafting well and signing your own players is the way to stay relevant every year. I agree. And the Eagles have done it so well that it's actually been hurting them. But I agree. The free agency, I think free agency should be primarily used for two things. One, when you're a team and you've got pretty much, a team that's ready to win a Super Bowl, maybe you need that one guy, you know what I mean? Maybe you need that one guy. And I'm talking about when you sign star players. Okay, so you need that one guy to get over the hump. Boom, you use free agency. Or, and this is how most teams use free agency, is they use free agency because they missed on their drafts. When you draft and you don't hit your pick, you go out in free agency and you try to fill those holes because you did not draft well. And if you want to say, I think Nolan Smith is an example of that right now. Nolan Smith, to this, and he may still, but to this point hasn't lived up to his expectations. It forced the Eagles to make a move and go out and get Jaelan Phillips. If Nolan Smith was dominating, I don't think the Eagles go out and trade for Jaelan Phillips. So that's how most teams use free agency. They use it to fix their mistakes in the draft. And the Eagles have done such a good job drafting, they don't need to be big players in free agency. But when they needed Saquon Barkley, that one piece, they went out and did it. That's how it should be used. Zay, welcome to Dingbat Nation. Thank you so much for joining, man. I appreciate you. Thank you. We got over 1,000 people, only 411 likes. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you subscribe. We will be back at this again tomorrow and all week. Anime says, this is exactly why Howie is not moving. The free agents are way overpaid, mid-tier talent. I agree. When you look at this specific class of free agents, there's not top-end talent, in my opinion. Not like in past years. There's maybe a guy or two. But really, let's be honest, the most impactful moves have been in trades this year. It hasn't been free agency. If the Eagles had $103 million in cap space yesterday, I would have wanted them to do the same exact thing, except for trade, maybe sign Dean, which they never were going to do. So I don't think we're doing it wrong, but the question is, and you can't deny, and I'm not trying to deny by any means, did the Eagles get weaker yesterday? Yeah, they got weaker because they lost 3 starters. However, we don't know how they're going to replace them yet. And I think all 3 guys are very replaceable. And, we'll see what the Eagles do. And then at that point, we can really determine whether they did the right things in free agency. But I don't think that this is the free agent market where you want to go spend a bunch of money on guys that aren't worth it. You just don't. That's my little rant about free agency this year. Check out Reed's numbers versus Epps. Yeah, but I'm not trying to argue. Reed's gone, but I'm not. When it comes to Epps as a starter, I'll just say it like this: I don't think he's a starting safety this league. I hear you, 500, but we have ups and down years in the draft, so free agency kind of helps us too. Yeah, you should use free agency accordingly, but what we're talking about is Jaelan Phillips gets $30 million, and to me, when you make $30 million as a pass rusher, you got to be a guy who's a top pass rusher. What did Brian Burns get? $28 million? You need to be like one of the top guys. He's not that. He's getting overpaid because the market for edge rushers are thin. And a lot of these guys are getting overpaid because there's nobody else. I think Howie's playing it right. Romeo Dobbs of the Patriots reached an agreement 4-year, $80 million. Now it's 80. It was 60, 70. It keeps going up. Like the Cowboys here, Rashawn Gary. Cowboys trade Rashawn Gary. He's an okay player. He's okay. I don't think he's gonna break, like, change the way what the Cowboys are. I don't think he's a game changer. He's okay. To me, he doesn't move the needle a lot. He's all right. The Cowboys could have waited till he got cut, but they traded a 4th-round pick for him. So the Cowboys right now, entering today, are $11.4 million over the. They're 11.4 over the cap. They still don't have a corner. They still need corners. They still need linebackers. They stink. Cowboys are going to spend all their money on the worst free agency class. Good pickup for the Panthers, though. I mean, he's a good player. There's no doubt. And what I like about Jaelan Phillips is I still think that his best days are in front of him. Like, I still think he's got big years if he could just stay healthy. So I'm not gonna sit there and say it was a bad pick. It's not a bad pickup. It's a good player. It's just they had to overpay. I don't think the Eagles need to overpay for him. Packers gonna win 6 games this year? Wow, really? You think they're turning it around, huh? Big Dog says 500. Did you see the report? Nakobe turned down similar offer from Dallas to sign with the. Yeah. I talked about that earlier. For those that don't know, Nakobe Dean, it was reported, had basically the same offer by the Cowboys on the table, and he went with his gut on basically which team he thought was going to be better in the future, and he took the Raiders over the Cowboys. I love that guy. Carlos, thank you for super chat. We built through the draft, only maybe 1-2 free agent signings this offseason, in my opinion. I think Howie's looking at 27, where we will go all in my opinion. I say Chubby, we sign. I would say Chubb. You get Chubbs and Brisker, or you get Chubbs and maybe a decent safety in the draft. They'll be fine. When the Eagles put this thing back together, everybody's going to say that. I think that you'll say they're better than they were a year ago. Maybe at worst the same. But they didn't lose Reggie White yesterday. They didn't lose Brian Dawkins yesterday. They didn't. And thank you, Carlos, for super chat. The real Mr. International, Marsha, he stinks. Gonna make the Eagle fans drink. You remember that? I used to call him Marsha Epps. I think he's a decent backup. And I think he did a good job for the Eagles, but I wouldn't rely on him to be my starting safety. Chubb hasn't been released. I thought they released him. Wait a second. They had announcements that he was released. Chubb will be released and can be signed immediately before June 1st. Well, when's he getting released? I thought that they already reported he was released and he's already talking to teams. If we didn't win last year, how can you win with the same team? But it's not the same team, And here's a way where it could happen. Just throwing it out there. You could get better coaches in there that use your players better, which makes your offense better. Then you could get your offensive line, and they could go and they could do all their rehabbing and their stem cell, and the offensive line could come back healthy and then start playing at the level they did 2 years ago, which changes your whole offense. And all of a sudden, you're going to win a lot more games just because of that. So those things like that can change a team and what their record is without really even changing the team as a whole. Then you start thinking about the young guys, the Makubas, the Jihad Campbells. Those guys are now having year experience. Jalen Carter could be healthy with his shoulders, come in, take it serious, come in shape, and he could play better. So those are ways in which it can happen. The rest of the NFC East is making moves, and we ain't doing nothing. But what move? Here's my question, and this is a question I keep asking: what move did the Eagles miss out on that changes everything? Which players did we lose that if we would have gotten this guy, it would have propelled us to whatever level? That's what I want to know, because I don't think there are guys like that in this draft, in this free agency. Dean and signed with the Raiders. Respect for us. Yeah, I know he did, and I love Dean for it, man. I do. Bad years not 100% of players. Patullo and the O-line injuries derailed last year, and we still made play. I agree. I mean, geez, we were like the number one seed for the first 10 weeks of the season. You know, we need safeties. They're not going with Makuba nor Sydney nor. Well, they're going to go with Makuba. Makuba's going to start. They love Makuba. So I think that he'll start, but they definitely need another safety, and none of those guys. I don't think the safety. Listen, I don't think the edge rusher and I don't think the safety are on this team right now. $30 million, you need at least 12 sacks a year. You need to do more. I mean, yeah, I thought 25, north of 25 was a lot, but man, 30 million. Wasn't it like 31 million? Could you imagine if the Eagles would have, if they would have matched the offer of Carolina or upped it? I'm telling you, a lot of the people who are complaining about them losing Phillips would be killing them if they signed him to that much money. Let me see. I feel like I'm so behind in this chat. I thought I put it on slow mode. Dimitri, thank you for the super chat. I wish everybody calmed down. We're going to be okay. We will. We will. You know, I mean, like I said, we got to wait and see what they do. Nobody that they lost can't be replaced. Chubb is a free agent. Is he a free agent or is he still in that roster? I think Chubb is a perfect guy to bring in for the Eagles. Bullcrap, wishful thinking. If you don't get better, not about who we lost, you have to get better to win. So plus year, yeah, but how do you know? How do you know, Matthew, that that September 10th or whatever the first game is week 1? How do you know week 1? You don't even know what the roster is going to look like. So we don't even know who they're going to replace these guys with. Shouldn't we wait to see who they bring in? You know, the guys that they lost are not so good that you can't replace them. You can. You just got to get the right guys. So I mean, it's about being smart. You know, who you drafting, who they signing, and what's the value. But it is not bullcrap and wishful thinking to say that players can have. I mean, why do players that are good, why don't they just put up the same stats every year then? Injuries matter and they occur and they happen. Bad coaching and putting players in bad positions matter. Those things are not wishful thinking. Those are all real things. Yeah, it happens every year. People freak out in March. It does. Yeah, I know. Roll Philly Dog's ready. He wants to drive him to the airport, man. Yeah, I think Bradley Chubb would be a great way to replace Jaelan Phillips. What up, 500? I haven't been able to join the streams lately. I've had a lot to do. No, I understand, Tristan. It's all right. It's good to see you now. Duncan, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. How about CD for A.J. Brown? First, I think Dallas would do it. You think they would? I would do 2 CD would be less problematic. Really? You think that Dallas would do it? I would be shocked if Dallas would do it. But, I mean, AJ's what, 29? And CD's probably like 27, 20. Yeah, I don't think Dallas would do it, but it's interesting. Nick Sirianni to the Saints for Kellen Moore. There you go. The offensive coach never did better than 22nd. He's horrible. The coach we had last year was horrible. Yeah, Chubb's a free agent, but what people are saying is that he's technically not a free agent till post June 1st. I don't know that that's true. Howie made the mistake last year not signing Sweat for $19 million and Isaiah Rodgers for $7.5. I honestly think where the Eagles went wrong last year, I think the main area where they went wrong was they hired from within. They hired Kevin Patullo to be the offensive coordinator. To me, that was where they started to go wrong. And should they have done stuff? Yeah, look, they Howie drafted Ringo, and he thought he could take over, and they thought he would be good, and they gambled on Ringo being good, and they let Rodgers go. I wouldn't have let Rodgers go. Not at all. And Sweat, they looked at Nolan Smith and the playoff run that he had, and I think they thought, well, Sweat will be okay without Sweat. Yeah, they should have signed Sweat. I agree. But, the thinking, I don't think the thinking was wrong in terms of like the strategy and what they were trying to do. It just didn't work out. Darius Cooper's age. I like Darius Cooper a lot. He's got to show us though. Rams are a threat. Rams have gotten better. There's no question. Slow free agency so far, since we keep talking about guys we lost and can easily replace. It's very slow. And I think it's slow because it's not a good class. I think this is a weaker class of free agency. What do you think about Darius Cooper in the slot? Do you think I like him, and I think he can actually hold up, and I think he's going to be good. I do. I'm very high on Darius Cooper. So, I think he should get an opportunity to win the slot. Now, if you could have got like Rashid Shaheed or somebody like with extreme speed that will like help you on your special teams, I could see putting him in a slot. But I would give Darius Cooper an opportunity to win that job. But I wouldn't just hand it to him. I would bring in competition. But I like him. I do. 500, what happened to all those triggers Mark was flipping for the cap space? They got to flip more triggers, I guess. They flipped a bunch of triggers just to get in a position to have a little bit of money. Okay? See, Dallas is in trouble. They're going and trying to flip triggers, like Mark says, to get cap space so that they could go overpay a overpaid class of free agency this year. And then they go and they give a fourth. I still can't understand why they would give a 4th round pick to the Packers on a guy that they were going to cut. I mean, Gary was like literally wrote a tweet saying, "Thank you, Green Bay. I'm out." Basically, they cut me, and they told him to take it down because he wasn't officially cut then. So, yeah, I think the Cowboys stink again. We definitely didn't get better. We got worse. Well, I mean, if you want to say we got worse because we lost 3 starters, I'll give you that. The problem with your argument, though, is that you're saying we're not better and it's March 10th. You don't have to be better in March. You have to be better in September. Johnny Wilson's coming back. Yeah. Clyde says, give how the players how we draft a chance to play before you guys kick them off the team. Yeah, I mean, we got to see what the Eagles do. They haven't done anything yet. Cowboys I like Christian Parker a lot. But here's the problem I think the Cowboys have with Christian Parker. I think Christian Parker is he's on a trajectory to be a head coach and be a head coach quick. And he goes out there to Dallas and does a good job at the defensive coordinator spot, especially probably because they're going to still have a bunch of holes. He's going to get a head coaching job quick. So they may run into the problem we have with offensive coordinator. They may get him a year or two at most, and then he's a head coach. Just a random question. Would you have kept Milton and looked to trade Carter? I wouldn't have, no. No, because I'm a big believer that when you draft a guy 9th overall and he's as talented as Jalen Carter, you don't just give up on him, move him, unless it's something that changes the trajectory of your front office or your organization for years to come in a good way. So I wouldn't have. But I will say this. If the Eagles were serious about trading Jalen Carter, then they should have done it a year ago. They should have signed Milton Williams. You could have Milton Williams and Davis signed for the same amount of money. But I don't believe the trade rumors on Carter. I think they were all bullshit, to be honest. When I see the things like, well, trade Carter, or shopping Carter, like, I wish they say, like, for exactly what? What's the compensation? Because some of these people, the compensations that they throw out there are like second-round picks and a has-been player. It's like, no. Johnny Wilson would be better as tight end? Possibly. I mean, I think he's got to put on weight, though. But I don't mind. If you want to do that, I'm okay with moving him. Rogue, thank you for the super chat. 500. They had to trade for him because no one good wanted to go to Dallas because of Jerry Jones messing with Micah Parsons. That's hilarious. Yeah, maybe you're right. I still don't understand why Cowboys just keep Parsons. It's like you trade Parsons, but now you're trying to get an edge rusher. You already had a premier edge rusher. I don't understand why they get rid of him. Dango says 500. I'm late getting here. With Dobbs getting signed, is the AJ Brown trade rumors finally dead? I don't think dead, but I think they'll die down for a little bit. I think they're going to die down. I think they'll pick up during the trade deadline, or not the trade, the draft, and then I think they'll pick up again after June 1st. My thing is I don't want to trade them, but if I have to trade them, I want a 2027 first. So I don't want AJ Brown off this roster until we get through the draft, because that way, 2026 is behind us. Would you mind? He's an interesting name. I would be open to it. It's not who we lost in any sport. You need to get better field. Of course, but you haven't gotten worse yet in terms of the football season's not till September. You have so much time, so many things left to happen. We don't even know who the other replacements are, so we gotta wait. JC was an all-pro second year plus a champ. Look, you don't win a Super Bowl without Jalen Carter. You don't win it without him. That sack on Stafford that clinched the game for the Eagles. No word yet, Lane. Quiet. I think the whole NFL is quiet right now, to be quite honest with you. Worst behavior. Thank you for the super chat. Unproven offensive coordinator. Stout gone. Reed, Dean, Jalen gone. Goddard likely gone. New scheme. Hard to see us getting better this year and making the playoffs? Well, let's see what happens. Let's. If this question, this is one of those questions you can't answer right now because you don't know who your replacements are going to be. They can make a trade or two or do something, and then all of a sudden you can say, "Wow, that guy's better than Reed Blankenship. Damn, that guy's better than Jaelan Phillips. Oh shit, Jahad Campbell is a beast in his second year." Like, you don't know those things. You can't tell me the coaches that they got offensively, the new coaches, can be any worse. How can they be worse than what they had? That was some of the worst football I've ever seen. I don't care. It could be the cat over there. That cat will do a better job than Patullo. Just on that, you got better coaching. So we can't answer these questions until at least September or August. At least get the training camp and know what the roster is. And that's not to say that they lost players and got worse overnight yesterday. Yeah, they did, of course. But we got to see what their answers and response to that is. Well, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Especially the Giants. The Giants, they got themselves a legit coach. Yeah, Evans went to the Niners. Get Woolen and Brisker. Yeah, if we got Woolen and Brisker, everybody will lose their minds and they'll think that we're back and everything's great. And then you could get a guy like Woolen and maybe he stinks. I mean, he did lose his job. So we just don't know. My only point is it's too early to panic. First and Nolan Smith and get Walker, Jags. Yeah, I would love to get Trevon Walker, dude. That would be great. The problem is Vic Fangio did not tell Christian Parker everything. Christian Parker has to learn himself, but Fangio did not tell him any X and O's and his defense and said that in his press. Oh, I'm sure. You know, I mean, look how many coaches have tried to copy Vic Fangio. And it's just not the same. It's not the same thing. Fangio is a genius defensive coordinator. And Christian Parker, I'm sure he'll be good. I don't doubt it. I think he'll be good. And then I think he'll be gone and head coach somewhere. They think they could get Jalen Carter for a couple twos. It's hilarious. Yeah, it's not happening. It would take like a Herschel Walker. It would have to be like a Herschel Walker type deal for me to even consider it. German Eagle, man, thank you for the super chat. Pat's paying $70 million for a guy with 400, 600, 600, 700 yard seasons. I don't get it. AJ is still in play there, but think they drafted another receiver. I mean, I don't know how much money. I don't know what the money is for them. Like, I don't know how much money they have, how much money they want to put towards a receiver. So I don't think it's over yet, but they're gonna have to do more. They're talking about Jaelan Phillips right now. They're saying he was the best pass rusher in free agency. All 2 sacks. I mean, Jaelan Phillips go to Carolina and he will fade to oblivion. What's he gonna do? He ain't gonna be on Monday Night Football. He ain't gonna be on Sunday Night. You're gonna forget he even exists. Yeah, I do, DB. I think if they can do it reasonably, I think so. Philly, I think Goddard is going to be the next signing. He is the cheapest tight end that we can get right now because of what we owe him if he leaves. I would love to bring Goddard back. I'm not throwing the towel in our birds just yet. Came close with Stout leaving, but I think they are going to be okay, for real. We don't need a safety. We do need a safety ASP. We do. We need a safety. We need an edge rusher. I agree. Those two positions have not been filled yet, and so those are legit losses and holes that we have. Dallas signed a backup punter from Brazil. Brazil. They're better than Philly. That's great. I mean, Dallas should work on punters because they're going to be punt a lot this year. Oh, the position, I would say right now, I feel like an edge. I feel like an edge because I feel like offensive line you could go draft. But edge rusher, there's not a lot of edge rushers. It's a thin market, and they're getting overpaid. So I think getting a right now getting an edge rusher would be good. Back to the bargain bin this year, just the way it goes when you draft well. When you draft well, and I would say this: I actually think that the top, this whole free agency group should be in the bargain basement. These guys, I don't know. I'm not excited about this free agency class. I don't expect any big free agency. I think there's a more likely chance that the Eagles make a big trade before you're going to get somebody big in free agency. My eyes are bothering me. They're burning. You want Becton for cheap? I'm not opposed to Becton. I just don't know I don't know what the coordinator wants in his offensive lineman. You want Milton Williams back? So what? Like A.J. Brown, a 2027 first, a 2026 second round pick, and Milton Williams. There you go. Bring back C.J. Gardner-Johnson, bring in Rick Woolen, go edge, and tell your first two picks. Well, I mean, if you did that, everybody would say that you're better than you were a year ago. Phil, your eyes are burning because you look at the screen already? I guess. Yeah, they are burning. If it gets into day 3 and beyond, and Ward is still out there, do you think we could get him for cheap on a 1-year proof deal? I don't know. I mean, I gotta think he's gonna get more than that. But I would not be opposed to it. That's for sure. Dude's work ethic is trash, and Stout is not here. Becton's, well, that's the thing. Becton without Stout, like I feel like you need Stoutland for him. Yeah, you do need a safety, and you do need a corner. No question about it. I think safety will get addressed in the draft, and I think they'll sign a veteran corner. Do I think we have a good chance? No, I don't. And the reason why I say that is because, think about it. The Eagles, they trade him. He got cut. He went to Baltimore, got cut. Then he sat there for like a whole month. Nobody even called. The Eagles needed safety help because Makuba got hurt. And they never called him. So if they really wanted him, they could have had him. So would you approach Arizona? I wouldn't. No. Nah, I feel like the Buda Baker. I feel like that's left the building. I would go. I'd much rather go draft a safety. Eagles may have $100 million plus cap space next year of free agency. That's when you'll see a real splash. Guys like Pickens, Kyle Pitts, Hall, London, Laporte is all available. I like it. Becton ain't coming back. He changed his agents. He went back towards his own ways. They don't want him. I don't think they want him. Philly cornerback Carter restructured his deal to stay. Say they like him. Maybe he's a guy. Yeah, but he's not an outside corner, right? I think he's placed. I think he could be a guy. Maybe they want to move him. Maybe they want to put him at safety. Dak can't get a Super Bowl ring or a wedding. Yeah, he can't get a wedding ring or a Super. He choked his wedding ring away. Guy's a choker. Dan Cilio said we were winning 4 games this year. Hey, just make sure that you guys, you guys like clip that. Yeah, I think he's rage baiting too. And let me tell you, if the Eagles would have signed Phillips and brought back Reed and Dean, he would have said, what are they doing? They're spending money on players that aren't that good. Howie's supposed to be a cap genius and good with money, and he's blowing it. No matter what, you're going to lose. You have to do something like the Eagles have to do something really good that nobody can deny. Then he'll have to reluctantly give the Eagles credit. Don't we have like 10 or 12 picks now? No way Howie's keeping them. Nice. We make a trade. Oh, they're going to make trades. We've got 9 picks, 9 draft picks next year. 4 are top 100. So we got to admit Dallas and the Giants got better. If Dallas gets Patrick Queen, as it's rumored, we must make a move. Even if Dallas gets Patrick Queen, it doesn't do that. We'll see. I like Patrick Queen, but I don't know. It don't scare me. What I'm saying to you is that Dallas and the Giants, yes, they've gotten better over the last 24 hours. But here's the problem for Dallas and the Giants. You don't play until September. This is what people don't understand. You don't play until September. You're not playing football this week. So, the Eagles have plenty of time to respond, and they will. I missed a member. Oh, it didn't show up. Let me look. Yeah, I did. Let me see. SGA Sports Talk. Welcome to Dingbat Nation. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate that. Thank you. Shout out to you. Thank you. And thank you, Logan Motorsports, for letting me know. It didn't show up. Woolen to the Rams. Rams got another corner? Damn, the Rams are loading up on cornerbacks, man. Holy crap. That's crazy if that's true. I mean, they got so many corners. What's the deal with that? SJ Sports, it's great to be back. Thank you. Shout out to you, man. Thank you so much. What is Howie doing? What is Howie supposed to be like? Here's my question. What is Howie missing out on that everybody's so pissed off about? They complained when we signed Barkley, called him injury prone and old. Yeah, Barkley was injury prone and old, and it was a wasted pick. Who pays that much money to a running back? We've heard it all. I put Bond on the edge before Campbell. See, I wouldn't move Bond there because I think Bond didn't fit there. That's why he never really blossomed in New Orleans. It was when they moved him that kind of started to play well. We'll see what happens. Well, yeah, if we win 4 games, yeah, Jeremiah Smith is an Eagle. That's true. Random, thank you for super chat. It's overreaction season, Philly. Yeah, that's true. It is, and I gotta recognize that. I totally gotta recognize that because it is. Nick Daver super chat goes, Woolen rumor fake. He didn't get signed. I just don't understand why the Rams would do that. They signed so many cornerbacks already. A bunch of fear of missing out fan base. Folks need to. Yeah, it is. People are fearful they're missing out on something. Just think. I mean, let's say the Cowboys get Patrick Queen. Yeah, he's good. That'll help them. But they still got a lot of holes to fill. I think Howie's rightly done the right thing. Yeah, I like. Yeah, look, I think Howie's played it right too. Obviously, I want to see what who they're going to sign, but I don't think Jaelan Phillips was worth $30 million. I don't. I think losing Reed Blankenship for 8.5. As much as I personally like Reed, and I'm appreciative of what he did. I don't think it's like a backbreaker for the Eagles. And I would have loved to sign Nakobe Dean, but the Eagles drafted a linebacker in the first round. They already replaced him. So I just don't know what they're supposed to do right now. Like who's out there? Like there's Patrick Queen's rumors about the Eagles. Like, okay, why would the Eagles go get Patrick Queen? Doesn't make any sense. We gotta see what they do. Why would we sign a cornerback to be a depth for Cooper DeJean before securing a cornerback opposite of Quinion? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. Well, who do we do? Who specifically are we talking about? This could be a possible another sacrificial year for the defense. Coop, XQ, and Jalen Hunt all has to get paid. We may be going all defense in the draft. I don't think we're going all defense. I think we're going to go heavy offense, to be honest with you. I think you're going to start to see the Eagles pay the defense lots of money and then go young on the offense. That's how I think you're going to start seeing it. As far as Coop, Q, yeah, they got to get paid. There's no question. Jalen Hunt, we'll see him continue to develop. He's still got a few more years. And, yeah, we'll see. The Eagles, they said, are what, $103 million in cap space? That's a lot. They'll be fine. Name the last time we won 4 games with the duo Sirianni and Hurts. I can't remember the last time we won 4 games, period, let alone them. I think the internet's getting bad. It keeps skipping and pulls in for me. Yeah, it is getting bad. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't think Jaelan Phillips was worth $30 million either. No, gosh, no. And people would be killing the Eagles if they did that. They're talking about Geno Smith trade. Jets acquired Geno Smith for a pick swap. So the Raiders essentially giving him away. Eagles not spending crazy keeps us flexible and available for future move potential. Always priority. I agree. Especially when you don't really have the strongest free agency class that we're having here. Philly fans see all this movement and they're like, what about us? Oh, I know. I mean, I get it. I get it. But like, I don't see like it. Like if the Eagles had, like I said earlier, if the Eagles had $110 million in cap space, they had a ton of money. I still don't want them spending $30 million on Jaelan Phillips. Like, I don't want to do it. Like, to me, the biggest loss, I feel like, is not getting Shaheed. Like, I wanted to get Shaheed. He was like my number one free agent because I want, and I didn't. Usually, I do a bunch of videos and I put all my targets down because there's usually a lot of talent at the top of free agency. The only one I did a video on was Shaheed because all the other free agents in this class, as far as I was concerned, I didn't think were that great. I don't think none of them were game changers. We have to trade A.J. Brown. He will be a problem again, especially if we don't. I know you want him gone. Yeah, Michael. The reason they did that with Michael Carter was because he saved instant cap space. I think it was like about $7 million in space. So by doing that, they freed up space. I don't think it was so much, like, oh, they like him, the backup a slot corner. I think it was more, well, he wants to stay. We don't mind him coming back, but we need $7 million in cap space. Yeah, they needed the cap space. It was all about cap space. 500, we want volunteers, not hostages. I don't know. I feel like, man, the whole world has people going to work, doing stuff that they don't want to do, the job they don't want to be at, and they do it. He's got to get over anything like that. The Patriots say screw AJ. Good. No, I'm really not bothered about losing Phillips. More bothered about losing Dean and Reed. Well, to me, the Reed thing is like, I get it, from the Eagles' perspective. I would have liked to sign Dean too. I'm not gonna lie and sit there. I tell you I wouldn't. But I guess that I've had a long time where I've accepted that this was gonna happen. So it's just not a surprise. Like I knew Dean wasn't getting signed. I knew that back during last season. I knew it when they drafted Jahad Campbell. So it's like, it is what it is. Yeah, I would like Goddard. I like everybody's idea for Travon Walker. If you could pull Travon Walker, especially for a first in 2026, I don't even know if you'd have to give a first. How about a second round pick and a third? How about a second and a third this year's draft for Walker? Would they do that? I mean, he's in the last year of a contract. I don't think they're going to give him a big deal. So why not? Goddard back would be nice. Flipping the bird. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. I would pay the bread man now so he's not too expensive later. I agree. 100%. Bring back Goddard on a 2-year deal and Adoree on a 1-year deal. Bring in Chubb and Brisker. Draft Lane's replacement in round 1. I like it. I mean, the only thing about the replacement is it depends how the draft falls, obviously. But if his replacement could play right guard in the meantime before they move him over, I really like it. How many people, with what he wrote here, what Flipping the Bird just wrote, how many people would then say the Eagles are better than a year ago? That's what I want to know. And thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. You didn't miss anything. No. You realize B-level players are now getting $20, $30 million a year. Alec Pierce, Jaelan Phillips, Roman. Yeah. And that's because, not just because they're B-level players, it's because the free agency class was all B and C level players, and teams are desperate. I don't think that would be that will be the case next year. I don't. If you have a better class, Michael Carter was really good on the Jets. Yeah, he's not good. He was good at Jets at one time. He's not good money. Don't doubt that he's good. Yeah, I'm not saying I don't know if he's good or not, but I know that the Eagles brought him back cheap. And they saved $7 million. And that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to save $7 million. Yeah, I agree. Everyone we lost can be replaced. I totally agree. Agreed on corner signing now. He's just a down year too, that so could help signing. I might think so. It's risky because if Carter comes back and has a gigantic year, you're talking maybe like $10 million more a year, something ridiculous. Yeah, these contracts are insane. The way free agency is going, it's going to be a lot of players dropping in the draft. All we got to do is sit tight, and we could get two top 25 players, and our first 2 picks even if we have to trade up. Yeah, possibly. Any move would be nice at this point. There's going to be Howie's going to make a move. He is. He's going to find and target the guys that he thinks, and he's going to make a move. And then we'll see. That move will either make people feel much better or make people worry. We'll find out. Dan, what's going on, man? He says, let's offer AJ a new contract. I don't think they would do that. I mean, they've already done it. What? They've already done it twice. I don't know if they can without still taking a major salary cap hit. I don't know how that would work. I heard they only want a day 3. See, I like Kevon Thibodeau that would be a great trade. I don't know if the Giants would want to trade with the Eagles, but yeah, that would be perfect because he's got potential. He hasn't lived up to it either, but yeah, replacing Phillips, agreed. If they could get Travon Walker, that would be an upgrade. Travon Walker is better than Jaelan Phillips. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We're at March 10th, and the Eagles haven't done anything yet. And it only takes one move like that to completely change the narrative. Fly Park's favorite super chat goes 500 with Carter signing. Do we move Coop to safety? No. I don't believe they'll move Cooper to safety. Not on a full-time basis. I do think that eventually they want Cooper DeJean to be able to play pretty much any position in the secondary. And that's what they want him to develop over the long term. But I don't think so. I think you keep Cooper in the slot. And I think, if you want to put him at safety here or there once in a while, I don't mind that. But I don't think that's the play. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Fly Parks, thank you for that super chat, by the way. Eagles Uncensored said, it was destined to happen. The moment Makuba showed promise and Campbell's development, it was all about cap, and those decisions were made. I'm not mad at it. We need to see what they got. Yeah, look, I thought Makuba and Jahad Campbell showed promise. I mean, really, Jahad Campbell was like the leading player before Dean came back. He was the leading candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year. He was having a good year. It's just that Dean came back and Dean was ridiculous. So, it happens. But the people that, are worrying about we didn't do anything, I just want to know, what player out there was the guy that you said, holy shit, the Eagles got to get this free agent. He's going to change everything. There is nobody. I would love for them to go after Walker. That would be great. If you could get me Walker, yeah, that would instantly change everybody's feelings. If AJ is going to be a distraction again, we have to be serious conversation. If he benefits or a liability, I want AJ to be great, but as a detriment to the team and winning, no. I agree, and I don't think he will be. I think he'll be much better this year, but I agree. You don't want him to be a distraction, but that's not an excuse to trade him away for nothing, though. Trying to figure out who's calling me. Spam risk. Need a safety bad. They'll get a safety. I think they're gonna go draft for safety, but I mean we'll see. If you want to trade big, go after. Is Will Anderson even like? Is that even like a potential reality? I mean, Will Anderson, yeah, of course. But I just don't know he's a reality. Travon Walker, is in the last year of a contract, and I don't think the Jags are going to extend him. So he may be more apt to be traded. Jerry Jones is what? Jerry Jones is busting the budget. So the Cowboys are what? Rumored to get being on Queen? That would be interesting if they got him. It would be an upgrade for their defense, no question. Let's see. We're just scouring the internet here, see if there's anything out there. So here's something by Adam Schefter. The list, quote, the list for A.J. Brown trade teams interested in him. The list starts and ends at New England. That's the only team that you have to watch. Forget that. Boy, those Patriot fans are worried. Let's see here. So here's the Nakobe Dean's contract. He gets $36 million, $23 million guaranteed, and a $5.7 million signing bonus. That's not bad. Not bad. It's quiet. It is quiet. Yeah. You hope they get Woolen. It's quiet. It's not even quiet just for the Eagles. It's quiet throughout the NFL. I can't believe we're in day 2 of free agency, and we just are not seeing that many moves. Usually they're flying off the table right now. It just goes to show you that this class of free agency is not that good. And if Howie went and spent big money on a free agent class that was way overrated, it would come back and haunt them. No, I don't think the Texans are trading him either. Go get Garrett. He'll trade AJ. I would get Garrett if I would get. Dude, Myles Garrett would change it. We go back to the Super Bowl. Like instantly, we go back to the Super Bowl. You get Myles Garrett, you play him with Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. Holy shit! I would offer them 2 first-round picks and Nolan Smith. That would be what I offer. I can't give more than that. And usually, like 99.9% of the time, I would never, ever, ever, ever do that with a 30-year-old player, 30-plus-year-old player. Myles Garrett is an exception to the rule. Eagles should not lower the price for AJ. Think New England's trying to play hardball. I agree. The problem New England has is the Eagles don't want to get rid of him. Philly Walker played with Carter and Davis for the Bulldogs. Maybe it will make Walker benefit more. I agree. Because free agency isn't a good deal considering how much money the NFL is taking. The cap should be higher. Yeah, but I mean that's all true. But I just don't think that the group of free agents are that great. I just don't think there are that many guys that are like they're going to change the direction of your franchise. Who do I want to in Philly right now? Well, I'll say non-trade free agent-wise. How about Bradley Chubb? I think Bradley Chubb could be a good pick for a bridge defensive end for a year or two. 500. This is what I'm talking about. If this is possible, Woolen, Walker, Goddard, and maybe a safety. Yeah, I mean, I love it. I love it. Problem with getting Myles Garrett is the risk versus why are you going to have to give up to get him? Yeah, it's football players that get hurt. So as his age, I'm not comfortable. No, I mean I get it, and I agree 99.9% of the time. I look at Myles and I say, guys like that don't come around often. So do I take a chance? I think Myles has got 3-4 years. It's a risk. There's no question. But if you get Myles Garrett, if you get a good 2-3 years out of him at his top level with Jalen Carter and Davis, I mean, that's a ridiculous defensive line. You definitely have to package a first AJ and a day 2 pick to even Cleveland think about. I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't know what Cleveland's looking for. Like that, what a weird team. Like, they can't build for shit. Damn, I would have wanted Rashid Shaheed. That was my number one free agent. How is it making moves until tomorrow afternoon when the new season actually starts? Yeah, probably. I think he's waiting for some of these guys to get signed up and to go to a lesser tier. And I don't think that there's very much difference between the third tier players and the first tier players. Usually there's a giant difference. There's a giant drop off. I don't think there is one. Just like in this draft, I don't think this is the greatest draft either. I don't think in terms of top end talent. I think that the difference between a lot of the first round players and third round players in this draft are not that great. But next year, it's going to be crazy. So Isaiah Pacheco agrees to a 1-year contract with the Lions. Lions want that two-head monster. I know it's not guaranteed money, but how are they getting? Yeah, well, because the free agency class is weak and teams are desperate. Kyler says, Philly, how are you, my man? I heard the Eagles are interested in Patrick Queen. What are your thoughts on it? Yeah, I'm doing good, man. How are you? My thoughts on it is I don't believe it. I don't believe it because it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why would you want Queen when you just let Dean walk? So it seems like that's the one position where the Eagles would not be interested. So I wonder if they're being used to, make teams want to bite. Yeah, Garrett had 23. Garrett's a stud. He very well could, yeah. But if Cleveland was nice, if they were nice and they really cared, they'd let him go. They'd trade him. Give him a chance to win. Howie doesn't prioritize running back, linebacker, safeties, and slot receivers. Those positions rarely get second contracts. Yeah. That's all. I mean, that's all up in smoke now. I think you're being sarcastic. But yeah, that's all up in smoke now, right? That was the saying beforehand, not anymore. Plus, keep in mind what you won't be able to get if Myles Garrett, you won't be able to get. Well, you can get him in the draft. You can get him in the draft, and you can get somebody cheap. I don't know I don't know the details of his contract. I'm purely speaking from a talent standpoint of putting him on that line with those guys would be something. Gunny Mac, thank you for super chat. We should sign safety Nick Cross from Indy, 24 years old. Yeah, I'm not opposed. Bring C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Adoree back. They might bring Adoree back. NFL has egg on their face. Nick, no change. Sirianni. That's hilarious. $500. There's only 3 blue chip players in the draft. They're going top 8. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like from everything I was reading about the draft, they were saying like guys in the 20s and guys in the 50s, there's really not that much difference. So when you get a draft like that, maybe you trade back and just acquire more picks, you know? And really that 2027 draft sounds like it's going to be epic. A first, second, and bond for Garrett. We have to go get Patrick. Well, if you do that, maybe you have to. That's interesting. I don't believe. How many of you guys believe? Put a 1 in the box if you believe the Eagles are really trying to pursue Patrick Queen, and 2 if you don't. Yeah, I think Calvin also would be a great returner. Yeah, and they need a returner. The Eagles, man, boy, could that team use a returner. That is the truth. Let's see here. And we got over 1,000 people, only 544 likes. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you guys so much for being here. AJ a first for Garrett, or give Hendrickson the $27 million you offer Phillips over 3 years with the bonus if he had 17 sacks. Edge could be good. Well, up to 35 years. Yeah. They said he's asking for like 35 million. And like I don't think he'll come for 27 million. I don't trust Hendrickson. I think he might be shot. I honestly think he may be shot. He's been banged up. I think people are concerned with some of his injuries. He could be trying to grab the bag one more time. And he may know he's got nothing left. Well, yeah, I'll trade a bunch of kittens. Hell yeah. So would you be... No, I'm not willing to do that, Nighthawk. To me, the point of getting Myles Garrett is to play him with Jalen Carter. If you take Carter off that line, like, what's the point? I mean, I like Myles Garrett, but no, I'm not getting rid of a 24-year-old player. I want Garrett to play with Jalen Carter, not trade Carter for him. Queen is better than Dean. He only missed 1 game in his career, and they're the same age. I'd rather have Queen slightly better skill-wise, but reliable enough to make that slight into my... Yeah, but what about Jahad Campbell? Like, you just spent a first-round pick on a linebacker. I don't know. It just seems like a weird thing that the Eagles would be interested. I'm not saying Patrick Queen isn't good, but I still think that you got decent linebackers. That's not your issue. Nick, thank you for super chat. If we don't resign Goddard today, we eat $20 million. Oh, really? So do we eat $20 million? Meaning like do we eat $20 million even if he's a free agent? Ah, man, I wish they would sign Goddard. Yeah, I would consider that. I would consider that more likely because they're both fairly the same age. Campbell's Bond's replacement? Well, then why wouldn't you sign? They should have signed Dean. Dean didn't get that much money. If you look at him as a future guy, I don't get it. At this point, we should sign Dallas. Maybe. You know what? Maybe they are going to try to get Queen. In some weird way, I can see the Eagles doing something like that totally confuses us. Now, I don't think Trotter's doo-doo at all. I think Trotter's pretty good. I think Trotter's like solid. Like, I think he's a solid player. I think he could be a solid starter. Now, I don't think Bond's slowing down. I think Bond's got a couple years left. Linebacker solved. Drafted edge. Controlled price at the position. Safety still. Cornerback 2. Otherwise, it's on Mannion. Oh, well, you need that offensive line needs help. You need to help that offensive line. Bond led our team tackles, and Bond also should have won Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago. Got totally robbed. Totally robbed. Trotter plays more like Dean. He's better than solid. I like Trotter. I do. You said I've heard no reports saying. Oh, let me read. I've heard no reports saying we want Queen. Y'all go for the A's and BS sources. I haven't heard anything like that either, and it doesn't make sense to me. I could see Dallas going for him. That makes sense, but us, I don't know. The Eagles are falling apart. Yeah, that's just insane talk right there. Eagles are. How much money do we have at the moment over the cap? Says $11 million. No, it's not true because they're not updating it because you saved about 7 with Carter and then you saved about 10 with Davis. I think what I read was it's somewhere around 24 million, somewhere in that range, like 24. But it's definitely not 11. That was before they did they signed the extension and stuff. Check your okay. Let me check. All right, let me check that. Let me check that and see what the hell's going on. All right, thank you, Jake. So Nick Harris. Nick Harris covers the Cowboys. Okay. All right, let me go to this. I'm going to pull it up. Hold on. All right. So let's read this together. Jake, shout out to you. Thank you for sending this to me. All right, so let's take a look at this Patrick Queen rumor thing. What it says. Can you guys see that? Okay. Okay. Trying to blow it up so you guys can see. See, can you guys see that now? Not totally. I'll just read it. It says so the yeah. All right. Cowboys have largely been. This is Nick Harris, covers the Cowboys. Cowboys have largely been wiped out at linebacker. Okay. Been a tough day there in Dallas. No other way to put it. I'm keeping an eye on Patrick Queen at the moment. A handful of teams have called Pittsburgh about a trade here, including the Eagles. Dallas has kept a hand in that mix for this exact scenario, but there's still some things to work out through conversations behind the scenes to be had there. Sounds like Pittsburgh is hunting down a mid-round pick. I personally think the best they can get is a 5th rounder, which would work in Dallas' favor. They can't really give up a 4th or better. We'll keep a pulse on it. Nothing imminent, but worth monitoring at this point. Caden Ellis, Chanel are the best available names on the market. Cowboys will need to get creative if they want an impact player there. or just hope the draft board falls their way. So it really doesn't say much, like in terms of, except for the Eagles. The Eagles are in on it too. But for a mid-round pick, Patrick Queen, let me look up his cap stuff. I'm just a little curious, like, do the Eagles think that was a move they need to make? Or are we just being put in there to push the urgency to go get them? All right, I'm gonna pull up his over the cap stuff. It's interesting. All right. Why would... All right, so let me pull this up. So what do you guys think about this, though, by the way? Rogue, thank you for super chat. He goes, Philly 500. I still like the idea of trading Nolan Smith at a first-round pick and a fifth for Myles Garrett. It gives Browns young guy a good pick. I agree. I agree. And thank you for the super chat. Charles says, I knew Nakobe Dean was gone. A little sad that Reed is gone, but I'm a little bummed that Phillips wasn't re-signed. But there's no way we were going to pay that money. I just hope we get a pass rusher. No, I hear you, and that's what the work is that they're going to have to do. No question. What do you guys think about this Queen thing? I think the reporter is smoking crack. He's a $17 million cap hit. Well, I mean, if they're willing to part ways with him. So let's see, 2026. He would save Pittsburgh. Well, let's see, trade pre-June 1st. He would cost them $13 million. Yeah, they would have to eat money. So Pittsburgh would have to eat money. What about post-June? Post-June, they saved $13 million. So this could be a post-June 1st type move. But he's 27. I don't get. He had 56 tackles last year, 64 assists. He had 1 sack. I don't know, man. His cap number is $17 million in 25. It's $17 million this year, and it goes This is the last year of his contract. $17 million. I don't know. What do you guys think? I can't buy this. I can't believe the Eagles are actually considering this. I mean, he's a good player. I like Nakobe Dean, but I don't know. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe that. If I already missed my new member, let me go try to find that. I apologize. I didn't see it show up. Let me see. I don't see anything. Whatever. If I missed somebody, I totally apologize, but I don't see anything here. Let me see if it's here. Yeah, I don't see anything. So if I missed a membership thing, I apologize. But I don't see anything. They're going to give him Dean's money? Why? It doesn't make sense that the Eagles would be in on that. They let Dean walk for $12 million a year to chase Queen for $17. It doesn't make sense, right, Andrew? In the final year of his contract. Yeah, I'm not buying it. It's not like he's 27, he's in the last year of his contract. I don't believe the Eagles are in on that. I believe I think it's more likely that a Cowboys writer would put the Eagles to try to push the urgency to get it done. I don't think Howie's doing that, dude. Yeah, bring C.J. Gardner-Johnson back. I mean, I'm all for that. What's the over-under redraft? That would be interesting. Get a degree in sports journal, you can make it whatever the hell you want and get hired. It's like, just put Eagles in it. If you just put Eagles included, everybody loses their mind. It's the truth. All the Eagle fans click, including myself, because it's the Eagles. All the haters that worry about everything we do, like the Cowboys, they click. I don't believe that they want Patrick Queen. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it at all. That beer, they can't hit Howie in the head because of all this drunk bastard with our team. Yeah, right. Howie is sober minded, and he's doing exactly what he needs to do. Didn't Cilio say that our defense would be worse last season because we lost 5 starters on defense? Yep. Now he's saying we're going to win 4 games. It seems like the $20 million dead cap, if Goddard walks, is spread out over a few years, a few seasons, and not all this year. Yeah, that's usually how Howie does it. Look, if they could bring Goddard back right now, that would be nice, you know. I'm trying to tell him, you know, because they extended him in 26. He'll be 27 this season. I would have rather signed Dean. He's cheaper. You think Carter? See, I wonder if I think Carter will get about 30. I think Carter's around 30. Howie is self-destructing. Go Cowboys. You guys wish, Vinny. You guys wish. Howie is playing this thing perfectly right now. This free agency class is not that great. I like the kid from Oregon, but now people are telling me he's going in round 1. I was thinking he was going to go round 2. He goes round 1. I might still consider it, though. Be honest. Jerry Jones is cooking. What did he cook? What did Jerry Jones cook? Tell me the big move that changed the Dallas Cowboys. That's what I want to know. What's the big move on defense? How he's worried about Queen, Mitchell, and Cooper. Yeah, well, we got those guys. They're rolling. Did I hear about that? No. What are you talking about? Him getting married? Yeah, he fumbled that ring too. Truth beer, I got a funny feeling as well. What's that? What's the? I want to read that. Funny. I like when people have weird feelings. Kenyon Sadiq or bust? Yeah, I mean, I think, geez, that would be a great pick for the Eagles. Only thing Jerry Jones is cooking is putting Dallas in cap hell with all these restructures. I don't think Dallas, they picked up a safety. That should be good. They got Gary, he's all right. But to me, Dallas isn't like they haven't changed the way I see them as, borderline playoff team, most likely miss it. Let's see here. So glad Reed and Nakobe didn't go to Dallas. I'm very happy that Dean. So I think Dean going to Dallas was a problem. I kept quiet because I didn't want to jinx it, but I think that Dean going to Dallas was a problem because if Dean goes to Dallas and they actually get a guy who knows how to win and is a leader and is a tone setter and knows what it takes, that's a problem. I don't think they've got that on their team right now. And Dean, to me, would have changed that defense. He just would have, and it would have been a problem. And them blowing it is great. And the best part is that he literally went with his gut feeling, and his gut feeling told him that the Raiders were a better option than Dallas. You gotta love him. Cowboys got a safety that has an interception in 3 seasons. Good luck at that, right? Yeah. I don't know. Somebody just sent me a text in Russian. I don't know what the hell that says. Did the Pats getting Dobbs ruin A.J. Brown trade? Worst case scenario, A.J. Brown doesn't want to be here and lower his trade. I don't know how it could lower his trade value. If anything, the trade value for A.J. Brown is going up because all these guys are coming off the board. And what I seen on X and stuff is that it doesn't affect their wanting to get A.J. Brown. But it ain't affecting a trade. We just got to sit. We got to sit tight and just do what we got to do. You think Derwin James and a first for AJ? How old is Derwin James? Let me see. How old's Derwin James? That would be my question. Let me see something here. I don't know. Derwin James is interesting. I mean, I love Derwin James, but I don't know. Do the Chargers want to trade him? Oh, he'll be 30? Nah. I'm okay. If he's 30, I'm okay. Yeah, I like Jahad Campbell. Yeah, I think we need to trade up. I'm thinking like probably what? Somewhere in the 14 to 16, 17 range? Yeah, I agree. Nathan says Pickens and CD on the trade block to Baltimore for a tin of Old Bay and a pile of Inner Harbor syringe. Every draft city, really? He's there? See, that surprises me. He seems so talented that it'd be crazy. Chiefs are 1,000% drafting Sadiq since they signed Kenneth Walker. They might. Yeah, fastest tight end combine ever, dude. I mean, I like him. If he's there, I would take him. I think offensive line. I would go probably somebody on the offensive line, specifically who I don't know yet, but I would look positional wise O line, and then not. I mean, I don't know what to make of the safety from Oregon. If he's there, is he really going to go in the first round, or is he worth it? Like a second rounder? I don't know. Sources: the Cowboys are signing former Broncos safety P.J. Locke to a 1-year, $5 million deal. No, that's a game changer right there. Patrick Queen was horrible last year. Trust me, I live near Pittsburgh. That sounds more like a Dallas type move, you know? Get a guy, and hope that he could be what he was a few years ago. They could have him. The Eagles don't need him. Darius Cooper will step up. We just need I like him, yeah. Sadiq can't block. Why use tight ends for blocking? Listen, most tight ends, it seems like the way tight ends are going, that less and less can block. It's like you don't get very many tight ends that can block and catch good. It's like they do one or the other, and it kind of tips off the offense. But I did hear people say when they were doing the scouting thing on him on NFL Network that they think that blocking is something he can do in the future. So I guess they feel that's something he can do. Queen is washed. He needs a stud linebacker to carry him. I don't want anything to do with him. I don't even know why the Eagles would be in that rumor. You want yeah, Sonny's brother. Yeah, he looks pretty good. They're saying that he goes in the first. Lots of mocks are saying this. Yeah, I think he goes in the first. Yeah. PJ Lowe has ties with Christian Parker, so it makes sense, and he could fill need for Dallas. Yeah, it makes sense. I think the Raiders will trade us the 14th pick for a 23rd and a 4th rounder, or a 3rd. Get the Oregon tight end in the draft. Interesting. Maybe. No, I don't think they're talking about Downs. Not talking about Downs. I mean, Downs would be perfect. But there's no way Downs is going to even be there. Yeah, F. Dallas is right. We got about 1,000 people in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. My brother just texted the most Jets thing I ever saw was Aaron Rodgers getting hurt play. 2, the new most thing is they just signed Gene. I know. The Jets must be tanking. I'm thinking the Jets are trying to tank this year and they want to get Manning. Right? Don't you think they look at the Colts and Peyton and then they looked at Eli when he was with the Giants? Don't you think they want to tank for Arch Manning? And it's kind of crazy. I can tell most of you in here didn't watch the college games. Jets signing cornerback Nation. They signed Wright to 1-year deal worth $5.5. See, I was just talking about him, EC. I was saying I kind of thought like maybe he was worth the risk of taking a chance on. For $5 million, why not? But he's going to the Jets. Forget it. It's gonna all end there for him. You know, you really want to trade AJ? No. When did I ever say that? I've always said from day one, I do not want to trade AJ Brown. No, I have no interest in trading AJ Brown. However, if we're gonna have to discuss it, this is I'm gonna tell you what I want. But no, I don't want to trade AJ Brown. I have no desire to move on from AJ Brown. Downs might fall if teams believe the report about his a degenerative ACL. Who knows? Oh, is that true? Oh, could you imagine if he fell to us? Oh, that would be great. Maybe Howie's putting out the report. You know, I'll tell you this. I said this before. If I was like, if the Jets tank for Arch Manning, if I'm Arch Manning, I'm getting arrested and I'm starting to do crack. I'm going to start doing crack or cocaine or whatever. I'm going to start doing it. I'm going to start doing it and filming it and putting it on social media. I swear. Anything I could do to get not the Jets to pick me and to drop, I would do. Because it's not worth it. If you get to the drafted by the Jets, you especially as a quarterback, it's over. Your career's over. Career's over. So I start doing crack right away. I start filming it. I'm Manny. I get on there. I'm like, hey, my dad, my cousin, brother's Uncle Peyton, or whatever, and I start doing some crack. I don't even know how you do crack, but I would do it. I would do so much cocaine if the Jets were getting ready to draft me, just to get dropped in the draft, so that they won't, because your career's over. You know, I would do all the cocaine in the world if on social media, so the Jets don't draft me, because dude, when they draft players, you go to hell. Rogue, thank you for the super chat. Miami has pick 11. Trade up and get tight end pick 11 before Dallas. That would be epic. Fly, Eagles fly, right? And thank you for the super chat. You just said, I would. No, I would. I would. The Drozone's crying. But it's true. Who wants to go to the Jets, dude? Really? I mean, look at Darnold's a perfect example. He stunk. He was a bust. And now he's winning Super Bowls. If somebody said, Philly, what's your advice, man? The Jets are going to draft me. Do crack. Start doing cocaine. And film it. Even if you fake it, it could be candy, whatever. But just do something so they won't take you. Deshe says, I don't want AJ back in that locker room. Never bring back someone that wants nothing to do with you. He's got to go. But you got to get something for him. Like, you can't give him away for nothing. I mean, can we agree? Can we agree on that, though? You know? Day 8 of smoking crack on YouTube. Archie Manning. Yeah, Archie Manning. Breaking news. Archie Manning has been caught on Twitter or X smoking crack. Smartest thing he ever did. Don't go to the Jets, dude. Yeah, crack made him a Hall of Fame player. That's true. The Jets probably wouldn't even care. They probably would ignore it. They probably wouldn't even care. But they ruined careers, though. I'm not lying. So bringing a player for resigning Carter this summer. So bring in players or you're signing Carter. Wow, you're gonna do both. You're gonna do both. I'm the point now where if you start negativity towards Jalen Hurts, I question whether or not it's racist. I didn't say anything about Jalen Hurts. I love Jalen Hurts. You have no faith in how he's doing anything special. But like what? I don't know what. Who are you missing out on that we didn't get? You know, Mike did coke and not crack. A very, very different drug. That just shows you I don't know anything about it. Look. Bradley Chubb is out there. I'm thinking like he would be a good pickup. No, not everybody can handle that. No, that's true. Trade AJ Brown to the Jets. That would be horrible. I do feel bad for Mechie. Just like when they traded him, I said I felt bad for him. You got no chance there, man. I mean, dude, as long as I remember, the Jets have always stunk. You know? It's always stunk. Yeah, Eagles got 4 compensatory picks, and then they got 4 top 100 picks. No, I mean, people are talking about Travon Walker. I've seen nothing on the Eagles being linked to him, though. Hold on, I gotta respond to this. Yeah, Nation Wright was a steal. Wow, him and Dean, that was who I was talking about, Kyle. Like, I thought he would have been a good pickup for the Eagles. As a second corner. That's a shame. You think Arch goes to Arizona? I might think about doing crack for them too. Truth speaks, change your name. Oh, you guys are talking about something. You all don't need AJ Brown. He's a mess. Well, look, if people want AJ Brown and I don't want to trade him, I have no interest in trading him. You gotta give me something though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta pay. People that want to get rid of AJ, they don't want him with the Eagles. Okay, fine. But you do agree that you've got to get proper compensation. Yeah, I had Wright. I was thinking Wright over Woolen because Woolen lost his starting job. He's been declining a little bit, right? This kid started to play good and figure it out. They're both 6'4". He was only $5 million. See, I wish the Eagles would have took a chance on him. Yeah, bring it home for Jerome. I love Jerome Brown, man. That Jerome Brown's my guy. I mean, man, that's the first time I ever cried about sports was Jerome Brown. I love the mess. AJ Brown's Eagle for life. I love AJ. I want him to stay. If I was going to Jets, I would break something, possibly go to jail. Then maybe go to jail. I mean, do something, dude. Do something to get your draft stock to plummet. You're better off even if you go in the second round. Just seeing we're interested in Omar Cooper receiver in the draft. He any good? I don't know much about him. But I hear good things. But that's probably just in case. It's probably just in case. AJ Brown wants his stats for the Hall of Fame to get. Listen, AJ Brown's going to get that anyways. Like in my opinion, AJ Brown, all he has to do is continue to go and win, play for the Eagles. He's going to go to the Hall of Fame. I don't know. It's crazy to me. $500 thanks. Eagles do trade for tight end Bauer from the Raiders. If I like Brock Bowers, but would the Raiders trade Brock Bowers? I don't know. You know what I mean? Jerome Brown was just about to hit his peak. I was lucky enough to see him play. I know. I think Jerome Brown's still the best defensive tackle I've ever seen. I still believe that. And if he would have been able to finish his career, he would have gone down as the greatest defensive tackle ever. I love Jerome Brown, man. And here's the thing with Jerome Brown, and that's what I'm saying. Would I take a chance if the Eagles could get Myles Garrett? Would I take a chance? Yeah, because if you pin Myles Garrett with Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, that's like that. I haven't seen anything that good since Jerome Brown, Reggie, and Clyde Simmons. Hurts could literally spam throw it to Bowers. Yeah, but I mean, why would the Raiders trade Bowers? That's what my argument is. I don't think Reggie leaves if Jerome. Maybe not. See, that Reggie White thing broke me. Like, people say to me, like, dude, how are you not affected? Like, this guy's leaving, that guy. It's because I watch Reggie White go. I watched Reggie White leave and go to Green Bay. It broke my heart. I've not recovered from it. And then they did it again with Brian Dawkins. I just never recover. It's never the same. Ever since then, it's easier for me to accept guys leaving. It just is. Flipping the Birds, thank you for super chat. He goes, what blows my mind is the amount of idiots. Eagle fans that want AJ gone, they can't even justify why they want him off the team. Just shut the F up already. I don't see, a lot of people act like it's like having, like Owens and what happened there. I don't see it the same. I think we can make it work. Look, the fact that the Eagles don't want to trade A.J. Brown and they don't want to do it, it tells you that it ain't all that bad. I don't know where the Jefferson stuff comes from. Like, where's the Justin Jefferson stuff coming from? I don't get it. Howie had us looking at other team signings for 2 days. He's a basement bargain hunting. I'll say this. I believe this whole free agency class is bargain hunting. Okay, I believe the top guys in this free agent class are bargains. Well, they're not. They're your overpaid bargains. They're just not that good. They're way overrated. Cavante Turpin and Brandon Ober. Those are like their two best players. Batman's twin celebrates 23 months of membership. Thank you so much. Those hate AJ for being right aren't real Eagle fans. He was right. I mean, he was right about the offense. He was. How he's playing is smart. I mean, in all seriousness, I don't know who people want. Like, okay, let's go through the three moves that they did, that they let go, three guys that let go. Jaelan Phillips, they offered $27 million for a good player, not a Pro Bowler, not a double-digit sack guy. They offered $27 million for a good player who's got upside. Maybe he's still got his best years in front of him. I'll give him that. So they offered 27. He got 30. They didn't want to go that high. All right. The second thing, they let Nakobe Dean walk. Well, they drafted his replacement in the draft a year ago with a first-round pick. So I didn't know what people wanted to do there. I would have loved Nakobe back. Then Reed Blankenship's out the door for $8.5 million when they can get a safety in the draft that probably is as good, if not better, for cheaper. So I don't understand what people thought we lost. Like, who we didn't sign. And then you look at all the free agents out there. Like, who was the game changer for the Eagles? Jaelan Phillips was considered the number one free agent. And he's just a good player. So I think Howie has done the right thing so far. He hasn't overpaid for guys that aren't worth it. And unfortunately, he let some guys go that we love, but they're not impossible to replace. And I'd say Nakobe Dean's already been replaced. So I don't know. I don't think to this point, I don't think the Eagles have done a bad job. And I think Howie's actually playing it right. Now we gotta wait and see who they get. And, all that has to happen. But I don't know. I don't know what people are worried about. Howie said he doesn't want to get rid of good players. What are they talking? No, he doesn't. I disagree about the safety been better. Reed knew Vic's defense and was glued back. Reed's another one. He's a starting quality safety. He'll never be a Pro Bowl in my opinion. And I don't think he was all that great last year. I think Reed's much better when you have a safety next to him like a C.J. Gardner-Johnson. He is very smart. He's got leadership attributes. And I like him in that respect. But to me, out of Nakobe, Jaelan Phillips, he's the most replaceable guy. So I don't know what people want Howie to do. There's no elite guys in free agency that were out there that were in a position that you needed that were going to change everything. Actually, the most effective moves have been trades. They haven't been free agency. So I think Howie's playing it right. It's just not a deep free agency class. And I don't think the difference between the first tier free agents and the third and the fourth tier are that different. So I think we just got to be patient and see what he does. But I think 1-2 moves and everybody's going to feel better. Like Chubb, like Bradley Chubb. I would like to get Chubb. He would be an easy replacement for Jaelan Phillips and much cheaper. You think Howie's smoking crack staring at the screen? Man, I think everybody's way overreacting to a free agent. Like to me, if I had $103 million, and I said this, and I say 103 because that's what we're supposed to have next year. But if I had $103 million this year, I would have done the same thing. I wouldn't have spent anything. I think Howie's playing it right. And believe me, if he doesn't do something, I will tell you. Like if he trades A.J. Brown, I'm gonna have a big problem with it. Unless he gets a ridiculous haul. Edward Brabazon, thank you for the super chat, my man. Appreciate it. Let's overpay for Phillips. That means someone wants to be re-signed. That means we won't re-sign somebody, right? Mark said in his latest video that you are feeding bullshit and scared of Dallas. Yeah, I don't know. Yesterday he sat there and he said that I was here panicking and I was all worried about the Eagles and sad at what we're doing. Like, I agree with what he's doing. And unfortunately, he might not like my take on what Dallas is doing, but what are they doing so great? This free agency class sucks. AJ needs to stay on social media and he's fine. Everything he posts gets torn apart and broadcast on ESPN. He was right where a shit show you can't be saying. It's true. That's true. So y'all want to suck. How are we going to suck this year? I don't get it. I don't get it. We still got pretty much, we got to get an edge rusher. We got to get safety. We got to get a corner. We could get all those things. We can replace all those things. But I don't see it. Like I said, the Eagles do not play football on Sunday. See, this is what Mark Holmes does and the Cowboy fans. Not all Cowboy fans, but they act like in March, they talk a lot of shit. They act like they've won something and done something because of free agency. But in December, when the games are important and you're trying to make a run, they go quiet and silent. Because they're never in it in December because they don't do the right thing. So now I'm supposed to expect that the Dallas Cowboys have figured it out and are doing all the right things. Rashad Gary is an okay player. Okay. You should have waited till he got cut. You didn't have to give a 4th-round pickup for him. It's okay. Safety they got. He's okay. But they're not game changers. Phil, you and I need to jump back on Game Time's live stream and smack Homer Holmes down again. I know, right? Our run defense was trash without Dean. I love Dean. I do. And he's good. And I also think that's where I think the biggest loss for Jaelan Phillips is he sets the edge. Because I think that's when when Dean and Phillips got there, that's when the run game improves a lot. So they're going to have to figure that out. Teams ran on the outside on us, not really up the middle, but like on the outside. Linebacker coach said Smile Mundun is underrated. I like him, and I like Trotter, and I like Jahad Campbell, and I like Bond. I think they're good at linebacker. What Howie did was not overpay for players, because when a great player hits the market, trade, or even draft, we would have the money in roster spots. Exactly. And they're going to extend Carter, and then they're going to go out and they're going to find an edge rusher. They might find 2 edge rushers that will basically give you what you got with Jaelan Phillips. I think they'll find a safety to replace Reed Blankenship, and then they'll get a corner that's better than a Dory that's not going to break the bank. And then they'll sign extension. They'll give extension to our boy, Jalen Carter. Eventually, Coop and Q will get one. They'll get extensions. But next year, you're going to have $103 million in cap space. If somebody's available that's good, then boom, you're in it. These teams are spending a lot of money on guys that aren't worth it. Clark Davis Super Chat, he goes, just golf work, what I miss all day? Nothing. It's been quiet. Reed Blankenship said that when Campbell's in the game, there's a level of communication that they're unable to have. I believe it. I think Jahad Campbell, I think people forget that before Dean came back, and this is a credit to Dean. Dean was so good. He was. And I would have loved to bring it back. I would have. But people forget that Jahad Campbell was playing pretty damn good. He was pretty damn good as a rookie. And he's only going to get better. These defensive, we need to sign Jalen Carter. We're trying to extend him probably. Why Howie's quiet, extension coming. Something's brewing. I feel Carter extension coming soon. Oh, I think it is too. I think it would not surprise me that the biggest move the Eagles are going to make is going to be a trade. They're going to make a trade. It's going to be through a trade. And I don't mean A.J. Brown trade. Yeah, he's smart. He's got size. It was a good pick. I like him, man. I like him. Campbell's communication issues because he doesn't understand the system. He's got to learn. I mean, remember he was beating people to hell? Like, he was hurting guys in camp and stuff. I mean, he's got a lot of talent, and he's learning. He's got to develop. You know, people forget when Dean came to the Eagles, people wanted him gone after 3 years. Sometimes it just takes a while to develop. Philly has done nothing, which I'm actually shocked about. What do you think Philly needs to do to keep Dallas away from them winning the NFC? All they need to do is show up. Dallas hasn't done anything. Like, how far do you think Dallas has come? Like, people acting like Dallas stinks. Their defense stinks. To me, they still got a problem at linebacker. They still got 2 corners they need to improve on. They still need another edge rusher. Dallas may have closed the gap, okay, after 2 days. Dallas isn't good enough to win a division. Yeah, that's right. He was not okay last year. I'm not saying he was great. What I'm saying was, well, maybe I did say that. I might use that word. But I mean in the context of a rookie, okay? Before Dean came back and took over that starting position. Jahad Campbell was the leading defensive rookie of the year. He was very, very solid. Now, I might have used the word, I don't know if I did or not, but I might use the word great. And I mean that in the context of a rookie playing and starting. Dean does have injury problems. He does. You think Campbell's a wasted pick? I don't agree. I don't agree. I thought Campbell's pretty good, and I'm not saying he doesn't have things to work on. I think he'd be a little bit better against the run and stuff like that. But he needs time to develop. He needs to play. Nobody can blitz as good as Dean. Dean's the best blitzing linebacker in the National Football League. You know, but the decision was made that they drafted Campbell and he's going to play. So. It is what it is. People are acting like this is a decision that the Eagles just decided and everybody's shocked. We knew we were talking Dean was going to leave before week 1. We were saying this is Dean's last year. What's the surprise? I don't get it. Everybody knew Dean was leaving. And I like Dean and I would have loved to keep him. But this isn't a surprise. Dean didn't play. Dean definitely struggled the first 2 years, and it was injuries and stuff. And it was really the Super Bowl year that he figured it out. I remember doing preseason games the year we won the Super Bowl, and everybody was done with Dean. They were done with him. And look what he showed up. We just got to be a little patient sometimes with guys. The fact of the matter is the Eagles let Dean walk. He's gone. And Campbell's got to be the guy. Love you, Phil. You busy. Thank you, my man. I appreciate that. Dog, the Eagles and Cowboys split games last year when they had a historically bad defense. The defense held your precious Jalen Hurts scoreless almost 3 quarters. Yeah, but the Eagles were up 21-0, blowing out the Dallas Cowboys, and they decided to play prevent offense. This wasn't because Dallas was so great. It was because the Eagles' stupid coaching would definitely, anytime they had a lead, like 7-point lead or more in the second half, they'd go into prevent offense. It was the Eagles blew that. They had that problem all year. It had nothing to do with Dallas. You were more surprised with Phillips and Dean? I'm not surprised with that either. Because I knew the Eagles wouldn't give him $30 million. And they shouldn't have. There are reports that both CeeDee Lamb is upset about getting restructured and George Pickens upset about getting tagged. So Jerry has a major problem. They're both pissed off. That's hilarious. One of those tools has to be mindset. His mindset is not to attack. It's just to sit back and wait for context. You talking about Jahad? Well, I mean, dude, the one thing about Dean's, I think, the best blitzing linebacker, and I think Dean's also was a huge tone setter. Like I said, I would have loved to bring Dean back, but when they drafted Jahad Campbell, it was over. And I got, it's the way it is. What up, Peter? How are you? Philly, Howie cooking up something big, relax. I think Howie's got something brewing too. I think he's working on things. And like I said, I think the biggest move Howie's going to make is going to be trade. It ain't going to be free agency. That's what I think. Did the Washington did they really sign him? Is that a lie, or are you telling the truth, or is that a lie? That'd be a shame for Chubb. Go to one losing organization to another. I don't know if I believe that though. Let's see. Let's see. No, I see nothing. Yeah, the Nashawn Wright thing. They're talking about Nashawn Wright right now. I would have loved to see Nashawn Wright go to Philly. No. No. No, I don't see anything. I see nothing. People shouldn't quit on Campbell, but ain't gonna sit here and say for sure he's gonna be good, hoping for the best. Well, he's got to develop. I mean, he's definitely got to develop. But I like Campbell. I think he's gonna be a player. I do. But we'll see. That's the way it goes. You've got to draft guys and project that they can play or not, and then you got to give them a chance. They tried to do it with Ringo last year. It didn't work. It backfired. Will it work with Jihad Campbell? I think the Eagles saw enough Jihad Campbell to know. I really do. I think they saw enough Jihad Campbell to know that he's going to be all right. No, I wouldn't touch Hendrickson. I feel like he is banged up. I feel like he's old. I feel like he's on the downside, and I feel like he's trying to grab one more big paycheck before he goes. I would stay away from him. I really would. Maybe no. Yeah, we need Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith. We need Nolan Smith to come around. That would be a huge thing for us. If Jihad is a terrible run defender, why is his run defense grade above 80? Yes, he has work to do, but he wasn't bad. I don't think he was bad. I think it's one of the areas he's got to improve. But no. If I don't think I said he was bad. If I said he was bad, I didn't mean it. I just think it's one of the areas he's got to get better at. But I think, a lot of times with rookie guys, they're learning things and they don't react. They're thinking too much and they get off the ball slow and things like that. And then as they get more comfortable and they think less about it and they just react, things change. But I don't think he's bad. I don't think he was bad. I don't think he was horrible at all. I think he was playing pretty damn good for a rookie in context before he got benched because Nakobe Dean was spectacular. So I like Jihad Campbell. I think he's going to be fine. Hendricks is too old, injury prone. I like the Eagles do young. I agree. And he's asking for $35 million. Let him go to Dallas. You know what I mean? Let him go to Dallas. Yeah, and see, but that's what I'm saying. A lot of times that has to do with because you're overthinking, you're trying to learn, you're not reacting right away. You're like a little slow in the reaction because you're thinking about things and you're thinking about what's going on. A lot of times you see that with rookie and young guys, and as they get comfortable and they just start reacting, that stops. On tape, Campbell can improve certainly at run defense. He wouldn't hesitate to go for a tackle because he didn't want to get faked out and blow coverage. He'll be better. I agree. He's got to play. No question about it. I wouldn't. I mean, if we're talking about just like free agents, I think Chubb is a guy that would be interesting. Um, I think Brisker safety would be very interesting. So I mean, we'll have to see. Yeah, exactly. I like Trotter Jr. He needs more snaps. He needs to be tossed up. I like him too. I think Trotter can be a quality starter in this league. I do. I think we'll be all right at tight end. I mean tight end. I mean at linebacker. But it's going to be interesting. I know how he's got something brewing. Now I would trade. Here's my one caveat, because everybody talks about Garrett. I would go for it, even though normally a 30-year-old guy wouldn't give up what it would cost. I think Garrett's the exception to the rule. The one caveat is I'm not trading Jalen Carter. There's no way Jalen Carter is getting traded. I would keep Carter to play with Garrett. To me, the whole point in getting a Myles Garrett is to play with Jalen Carter. So I would be. CJ, I would love it, but I don't know if Howie would do it. Yeah, well, the Eagles are talking to Minnesota. Grenard, to me, would be another good move. I have no problem with that. But it's going to be interesting. Arizona Cardinals have agreed terms with offensive lineman Matt Pryor on a 1-year deal. Sources say headed to desert after a 1-year return engagement with the Eagles. Bye, Matt Pryor. See you later. Bye. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I don't know what Reddick has left. Okay, so A.J. Brown, Nolan Smith, and 3 1s for Garrett. I'm not trading A.J. Brown to him. How about 2 1s and Nolan Smith? I'd do that. 2 1s and Nolan. That's a pretty damn good deal. You're getting a young pass rusher, still got upside, and you're getting 2 1s. Yeah, I agree with you there. I think they need to upgrade that right guard. NT Shark celebrates 23 months of membership. Thank you so much. No way they signed Jalen Carter, Q, Cooper, etc. without losing some. Yeah, well, I think Nolan Smith's the odd man out. That's why I shop him, because I think he's the odd man out. I don't think he's going to get an extension. Eagles organization thinks the longer you wait, the more price drops. Players are gold this season, but the players the free agency class this year is weak. So the difference between the top tier and like middle tiers is not that much. So yeah, I agree that the idea is to wait in free agency, because the difference in players isn't that great. However, when it comes to your own players, the Eagles' philosophy is to sign as soon as possible, because you want to get it cheaper. 1,000%. Way too much money. He's a good player. He's not a $30 million player. It's true. It does. I would love Brisker. Yeah. No doubt about it. But anyways, guys, I'm about to get out of here. We've been on for almost 4 hours now, 3.5 hours. Got some things to do. I might come back live later if there's some breaking news or something like that. But I am going to get out of here. It's been an interesting day, conversation-wise. I know people are worried, and you're hearing them trash the Eagles, but I think everything's going to be okay. We just gotta wait and see what Howie's got brewing. Everybody that we lost is very easily replaceable in my mind. So with that, I am going to get out of here. I will see you guys later. And if something breaks, like we had Dean when he signed yesterday, I'll come back. So look for that. Otherwise, yeah, tomorrow we'll be back at this again. But with that, I'm going to get out of here. Peace. Love y'all. And we out of here. Peace.
Come on, guys.
2 minutes to go. You have plenty of time.
Come on.
Oh, shit! Dad! No!
It's over! It's over! This game is over! Cut it off! It's over!
Fuck.
Congratulations, Green Bay! Congratulations, Green Bay! Congratulations, Green Bay!
I said run the ball.
Congratulations, Green Bay! Dak Prescott, you need to be fired today! That was on you, Dad! That was on you, Dak. That was on you, Dak.
I said run the ball.
That was on Dak Prescott.
Trying to feed him the
Trying
ball.
to defend the CeeDee Lamb. Trying to defend the CeeDee Lamb. You tried to defend the CeeDee Lamb. You got to give it to CeeDee Lamb. God. It's over. It's over, Dak. Put Trey Lance in the game. Trey Lance can't do worse than you.
I'm an idiot because I buy into this shit. I buy into this shit. Because here's the thing. I am a grown-ass man. And I talk the talk. It is killing me.
I feel it coming. I feel like it's going to take Jerry Jones taking. Cut it off. It's over.